Sa panadero sa August.
Okay, yun po. Can you see my screen na po ba?
Yes, sir.
Yes po, sir.
Yes, yes.
Thank you very much. Okay, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Few flafus di kalbom. Few flabi. Good afternoon everyone or good evening na ba? And anyway, I am Sir Joshua po pala and I am from General Santos City. I am from batch 2019 of the licensure examination for professional teachers. It's nice meeting you all and it's nice meeting you all using this platform of Teacher A. So sa lahat po, you can mute your microphone po muna. And this afternoon or this evening, I am tasked to give you item rationalization for all the topics under professional education. Now, ang question ko, handa na ba ang lahat? Ready na po ba?
Yes po.
Ready na!
Yun, I like the energy. Ready na. Ready na. Handang-handa na. Pag sinabi kong kaya pa ba? Pag tinanong kong kaya ba? Ang sagot nyo, kakayanin. Kaya ba?
Kakayanin!
Walang no choice. Sige lang. Anyway, let's start with with my PowerPoint presentation. Teka lang po, balik ako. Oops, sorry, na-click. Yun, sorry po, na-click. Ano yung nafe-feel nyo pag nakikita nyo to?
Dismayado.
Kabahan at dismaya.
Dismayado. Parang mas masakit pa sa breakup. Tama ba? Kahit hindi
Yes
ka
po.
ba naka-experience ng breakup, di ba? Masakit. Napaka-sakit. How about this one? Eh, teka lang po. Nag-move pala. Masakit pa rin?
Yes
Super.
po. Super.
Super. Pero, pag ito yung pinakita ko, ano yung mafe-feel nyo?
Kabado.
Kabado, sir.
Kabado, exciting, pero medyo nerve-wracking
Yes.
din siya when the results are out. Kasi parang culmination na yan eh. Imagine, ito yung kinalabasan ng lahat ng pressure, hirap, lahat ng pagod niyo bilang reviews. Now,
Amen.
question. In less than 1 month, March 27, 2022, nakapula. Pulang-pula. My biggest question is, in almost 2 years or after 2 years or more of preparation, how ready are you? That question is somewhat a rhetorical question. I don't want you to answer that. Let's just leave it that way. I want you to answer that within yourself. You don't have to share the answers to us. Yung sagot niyo kung ready na ba, yes or no, medyo. We will validate that answer after this rationalization. Okay? Well, hindi niyo kailangan sabihin sa akin yung sagot. Ang sa akin lang, you should have already self-assessed yourself. Kung bukas ng exam, ready ka na ba? Kung bukas na ang exam, hindi pa ba ready? Let's test that one. Are you ready? Kaya ba?
Kakayanin!
Alin, sir?
Kakayanin. Yun. Anyway, proceed muna ako sa PowerPoint ko. Yun, nawawala. We will start with question number 1, and we will have, again, 150 items for item rationalization under professional education. Question number 1, identify the kind of objective set by smart teachers in the T is in SMART is blank. What is T in SMART? Letter C, time-bounded. Pag sinabi nating smart or being a smart teachers, it does not talk about being a teacher per se. It talks about your objectives na siniset mo or nilalagay mo sa lesson plan mo. Smart objective starts with S, of course. Specific. Ang mga objectives natin sa lesson plan, it should be specific. Hindi magulo, hindi napakarami or sobrang dami. It should be target specific. Para hindi ka malito, hindi ka mahirapan, students, hindi din sila mahirapan. It should be specific. Next, it should be measurable. dapat evidence-based. You can measure it, you can see it, it is evident. Makikita mo sa bata that there is mastery of learning by the end of the attainment of the objective. The next one is A, attainable or achievable. Kayang-kayang gawin ng bata. Hindi masyadong madali, hindi masyadong mahirap. Achievable lang siya. Kumbaga, learnable ba? Pwedeng matutunan. Next is relevant or result-oriented. Anong purpose ng curriculum? Or the curriculum guide is there so that your lesson plan is guided. Yung lesson plan mo, as long as it is anchored to the curriculum, then it can be relevant or result-oriented. It should be, kumbaga, may ma-develop dapat na skills, knowledge, and attitude ng bata. It's relevant. And the last one is time-bounded. Ma'am Frelin, pa-mute muna kami. Thank you very much. Time-bounded or what we call terminal. Pag sinabi time-bounded or terminal, ang mga objective natin, it should be set. It should be delimited. May boundary. Hindi yung ang isang objective hanggang isang 1 week or isang week or hanggang isang quarter. Yung mga ginagawa nating objectives usually good for 1 session yan siya. So it should be again specific, measurable, attainable, relevant or result-oriented, time-bounded, and terminal. And that's for our question number 1 pa lang po. That is the question number 2. I'm sorry. Yeah, question number 2. If we encourage competition, in class, we do not teach learning blank. The correct answer here is, kapag competitive ang mga bata, competitive ang environment, hindi mo sila tinuturuan how to live together. There is competition. Combative yung mga bata, nakikipaglaban, nakikipag-away. And also, pag may competition, nagpapataasan ng ihi, they do not learn to understand each other. Kasi diverse yung mga bata, merong slow learner, fast learner. Dapat walang competition between them. Now, ito yung tinatawag nating 4 pillars of learning. And it is actually based as well in the cognitive, psychomotor, and affective domains. Pag sinabing learning to know, it is the development of your cognitive aspects. Knowing, mind, thinking, cognition. Learning to be is a factor relevant to your being, affective, emotional, learning to be human. Next, the last one is learning to do is your psychomotor aspect. Yung mga bata, we teach them or they learn. Parang learning to do is learning to do things, acquiring skills, psychomotor yan nila. Fine motor skills at saka lahat ng fine and gross motor skill. Psychomotor yan lahat. And this is the beauty. Ito yung kagandahan sa kagandahan sa 4 pillars of learning. Kasi nga, it is inclusive. Hindi lang about brain, hindi lang about head, hindi lang about hand, but it is also about the heart. Yan yung maganda sa 4 pillars of learning. However, merong dinagdag, merong bago sa 4 pillars of learning. And that is learning to transform oneself in the society. Have you heard about this? Learning to transform. Hindi lang daw dapat utak, yung puso at saka yung kamay yung dinedevelop. But you yourself should come out of your comfort zone. Come out of your parang shelf. We have to induce change sa community natin. We need to make solutions sa mga communal problems, societal problems. We need to make solutions for ourselves, again, to make ourselves better, and to make the community better. Yan yung kagandahan ng 4 pillars of learning natin. Again, may dinagdag, learning to transform, problem solving. Next, number 3. Number 3 pa lang pala tayo. Number 3, after the 1987 Constitution, what is the first legal basis that marks and considers teachers as professionals? After the 1987 Constitution, ang dami-dami mong keywords na mahahanap. Okay. Sige. Yun. What's your answer here? Number 3, after the 1987 Constitution, what is the first legal basis? Ang sagot dito, lahat ng legal basis, I mean the most important document bilang isang guro, is, of course, RA 7836 or an act professionalizing teachers in the Philippines. Isa sa mga clue natin is the after the 1987 Constitution. Tatanggalin mo si PD 1006 even though tama naman siya. Si PD 1006 nilagdaan to make teaching a profession. Pero hindi pa sa Republic Act. Now, sa Republic Act, na-institutionalize na talaga that teachers are at par with other professionals. RA 7836. Si letter A, ito, RA 7640, ito yung mali. Kasi dapat 4670 siya, which is the Magna Carta for Public School Teacher. And this was promulgated on 1966. Again, we are looking at a constitutional basis after the 1987 Constitution. And that's none other than RA 7836 under kaninong presidential term yan? Under the term of FVR or Fidel V. Ramos, 7836. Yun. Next, number 4, the K-12 curriculum is blank and blank based. It is inclusive and built around the needs of the learner and the community. Ang K-12 curriculum, the newest, the latest curriculum here in the Philippines is blank and blank based. That is letter B, standards and competency dapat yan siya. Standards and competency based. Asan to galing? It is based, of course, sa K-12 document. One of the promulgations, or I mean, one of the sections under K-12 law, dinidiscuss natin yung program implementation yan. And isa sa mga definition ng K-12 curriculum is it can become a standard and competency-based curriculum. Yun yung kanyang, ito yung kanyang legal document where it came from. Standard and competency-based. That's why ang curriculum ng K-12 ngayon, ang dami-daming competencies, ang dami-daming objectives, maraming saklaw, maraming standards, performance standards, content standards, learning competencies. Diyan siya nanggaling. Okay? Next question. Number 5, a step in the lesson plan which gives a cue of what the matter will be. Again, a step in the lesson plan which gives a cue of what the matter will be. Or kung ano yung matter, or in other words, content or lesson na ma-encounter ng mga bata. Asan dito yung magbibigay ng cue, ng clue sa mga bata kung ano yung kanilang posibleng maging topic for this day. That is, itong mga parts na ito, itong lahat ng choices, ito yung different parts of a lesson plan. Sa lesson plan, among the choices, you should always start with, of course, the drill and review. Ito yung pinakaunang part ng lesson plan aside sa setting of objectives. Drill and review. Before you conduct any new lesson, check what they have learned first. Checking of prior knowledge. This is followed by, before your presentation, motivational activity muna. This is called as the springboard to the lesson. Ibig sabihin, it prepares the students to the new lesson. Motivation yun siya. Followed by presentation or lesson proper, what we call the lesson proper. And then the final one, aside sa assessment, is the application. They will be applying or integrating what they've learned in school-based or real-life, reality-based application activities. integration and practice. Yun. Ang nagbibigay dito ng cue, again, bago mo ibigay yung lesson proper, bigyan mo sila ng cue or ng motivation so that they will get ready of the about the new lesson. Question number 6. Which is a language medium of instruction from K to K to 3 or kinder to grade 3 according to RA 10533 or EBEC, Enhanced Basic Education Curriculum, or the K to 12 curriculum. Asan dito? Makakapili sila based on their ang school mamimili based on the majority's mother tongue. Ano yung gamit na mother tongue ng isang lalawigan or ng isang komunidad? Yun yung pipiliin bilang language, MOI or medium of instruction para sa mga bata. That's the mother tongue. Yun. And this one is according to, again, under the K to 12 law pa rin, nakasaad doon, na yung gagamitin natin for teaching materials, for instruction, for assessment, is the regional or the native language or the mother tongue of the learners. Okay. Next question. Question number 7. Itong question na to, it's parang common sense question ito. What is the best description in the teaching profession? Of course, none other than, tatanggalin natin sino? Una mong tatanggalin dyan, tatanggalin mo agad si letter C. It is never the most lucrative profession. Ibig sabihin, nakakayaman daw. Ito yung profession na yayaman ka agad. This is not the most lucrative profession, of course. And also, hindi din siya tama na less yung preparation because ang dami natin preparation as teachers. Anyway, the answer here is, the most ideal answer here is, it is the noblest profession. Teaching profession creates other profession. Okay, next question, number 8. These are sectarian values except, be careful sa mga negations natin, except, do not, does not, will not, yung mga ganon. These are sectarian values except, isa sa mga tip na ginagamit natin is add man out or odd one out. Kung sino yung naiiba, more probably, it is the answer. Letter D, social justice. If you're going to compare social justice among the other options, si social justice yung batal. Siya yung naiiba sa kanila. It is the odd one out. Hindi siya sectarian because social justice is what we call secular or non-religious organization. Okay, or non-religious value social justice. Okay, question number 10. Teacher Joseph shows the hallmark of an excellent teacher by being able to make out of the box positive changes in the curriculum. As a curricularist, what do you call him? Nakakapag-isip siya ng mga out of the box ideas or changes. Teacher Joseph is what we call innovator, implementer, evaluator, initiator. Tawag sa kanya? Innovator. Another word for innovator is creative. Pag sinabing out of the box, nakakapag-isip ka ng mga bagay na hindi naiisip in a traditional manner. Innovation, parang invention of new things out of the box. Ito namang topic na ito yung mga teachers as a curricularist na topic. Okay? Na maraming ganap, maraming role si teacher bilang isang curricularist. The first one is initiator. Siya yung taga-initiate ng bagong curriculum, or we are the kickstarter. Kung may bagong curriculum, teacher ang unang gagamit, of course. Kaya nga curricularist tawag sa atin. Innovator, dynamic and creative. Malikhain ang isang curricularist. Next is implementer. The same with initiator, we are also implementer. We use it or we implement it every day, not just on the initial phase. Implementer tayo yung taga-deliver ng curriculum. Fourth one is evaluator. We are the ones who knows our students, who assess our students, evaluate their progress. Yan yung evaluator natin as curriculum. Role as an evaluator. Next is knower. Dahil tayo yung taga-implement, tayo yung taga-initiate, therefore, it gives us the right to become the knower. Tayo yung pinakamaalam pagdating sa content ng curriculum. Kasi tayo yung gumagamit. Next is writer. Hence, planner din tayo. Pag sinabing writer, tayo yung taga-review kung may mali. Tayo yung taga-correct kung may mali. Taga-check kung may needs improve tayo improvement ba. That's our role as a writer. Planner naman, curriculum or lesson plan kasi is a product of the curriculum. That's why we are also called as planner because we do lesson plan out of our curriculum. Regularly plan for guidance. Question number 10. What kind of curriculum contributes to a learner-centered learning environment? Learner-centered learning environment. Another tip, aside from add one out kanina, meron din tayong tinatawag na process of elimination. It increases your chance na matama yung isang tanong. Kasi ini-eliminate mo yung alam mong mali na sagot. Yun. Sa learner-centered learning environment, ang unang-una mong tatanggalin is being competitive. Because it is not learner-centered. Okay? Next is, tanggalin mo din si achievement-oriented. That is not learner-centered, that is subject-centered. Nakafocus ka sa grades or sa subjects. What's your answer, A or B? Letter A. Indigenous. Pag sinabi natin indigenized, ang curriculum natin, binabase natin sa kultura ng mga bata. If yung mga bata gusto namang matuto gamit yung kanilang lengguwahe, ikaw mag-a-adjust as a teacher. That's what we call indigenization. We are going to bank or mag-anchor tayo sa mga learners in crafting our curriculum. Indigenization. Learner-centered. Okay? And that's our first 10 items. Okay lang ba yung pacing natin? Masyado bang mabilis or masyado bang mabagal? Or tama-tama?
Okay lang, sir. Tama lang,
Tama
sir.
lang po.
Ganda
Wala.
po, energy. Energy! Sige, kaya naman! Number 10 pa lang pala. Kaya
Kakayanan,
lang.
sir.
Sige. Kung gusto niyo okay lang ba na mag-on kayo ng mic kung gusto niyo sumagot or type lang?
May merienda mo na yan.
Magsalita po, sir.
Pwede kayo magsalita so that we can slight kahit slight lang na
Merienda daw.
engagement. Merienda daw, sino yan? Baka pwede naman. Okay. Sige, type lang, sir. Pwede mag-type. Kung gusto niyo mag-type, pwede naman mag-on the microphone. Bilisan lang natin. Question number. Better ang type, sir. Sige. Okay. Para di ma-distract. Okay, type lang daw tayo para hindi ma-distract yung iba. Okay. Let's start with question number 11. Which of the following principles of effective instruction is the most important consideration when planning a lesson? Planning a lesson. Lesson planning. Anong pinakamahalaga? Bakit ka nagle-lesson plan? Para, di ba sa lesson plan, malalaman natin kung ano yung unahan, ano yung gitna, ano yung hulihan. Kung magpaplano ka ng lesson, it is important to understand the principle of pagkakasunod-sunod or principle of sequence. Okay? Number 11. Number 12. Yun. Asan yun? Number 12. Which method would promote rapport, respect for others' viewpoint, submission to majority's choice, and concern for individual differences? Para kanino yan? Letter D. Cooperative learning. Okay. Si letter A, group discussion, it will increase rapport and submission to majority. Kasi group man yan. Si letter B, laboratory, is also group work most of the time. So, pwede din si B. Si letter C, peer-mediated, work din yan sa collaboration. However, another tip, always sa Prof. Ed, always look for the most ideal answer. Lahat kasi si group, laboratory, at saka si peer-mediated, lahat sila types of cooperative learning. Okay, isa yan sa mga mahirap sa Prof. Ed ba? Kasi sa Prof. Ed, ang mga option parang magkakadikit-dikit. Parang magkakamuka, magkakatunog, magkapareho ng pahulugan. Pero again, tip is to always find the most ideal answer. An answer that will cover all the other options. Number 13, which philosophy of education influenced the singing of the national anthem? Keyword, national. That is, of course, none other than, kapag kumakanta ka ng pangmakabayan na kanta, marunong ka or meron kang filosofiya ng nationalismo. So, yan yung tinatawag natin, nationalism. Okay. Next. Ito yung tinatawag nating mga philosophical foundations. Ito din. Kapag sa teaching profession, ang dami-daming lumalabas na mga philosophies or philosophical foundation, hindi kayo yung mga philosophies in education or educational philosophies. Isa-isahin natin. First is perennialism. Ang pinaka-keyword sa perennialism is great books. Or di kaya use of humanities or history. As long as long-lived yung mga ideas, yung mga concepts. Perennial, tumatagal. Great books and mga humanities, mga history. That's under perennialism. Next is essentialism, from the word essence or essential. Keywords, back to basic, back to the essentials, mga fundamentals or essentials. Next is 3 R's. Reading, writing, arithmetic. That's why they are called essential. Kasi ito yung mga skills that are basic skills. And si essentialism is also teacher-centered, kagaya ni perennialism. Sa estudyante, kapag essentialist or perennialist na teacher, mas nakabase sila sa mga great books or sa mga subjects. Yan yung kay perennialism and essentialism. Number 3, ito naman yung kabaliktaran nila. Progressivism. Authentic learning, democratic learning. Usually, cooperative din ito. And learner-centered. Yung mga bata, like, pag sinabing progressive kasi, your mind is moving, adapting. Hindi ka traditionalist. Progressivist ka. Kung ano yung bago sa education, you apply it. Kung ano yung mga uso sa education, you apply it. You do not become stagnant. Progressivism. Next is reconstructionism. Ang keyword dito is yung mga society, mga community, social reform, reconstruction society. Ito yung mga teacher na gustong mag-produce ng mga estudyante who will make a change in the society in the future. Reconstructionist. Existentialist, isa sa mga pinaka-keyword ng existentialist is choice. The student make their own choices or decisions. Existentialism. Like kung may activity ka, hayaan mag-present ka ng activities, sila na bahala mamili kung ano yung gusto nila. They have their choice. Nang iniisip mo, totoo yan. Lahat ng iniisip mo is real. Reality is mental. Now, ka-idealism, kumukontra si realism. Kasi, according to realism, reality is independent of the mind. Magkahiwalay ang iniisip mo at saka sa kung ano yung totoo na nangyayari. Therefore, pag realistic ka, kailangan mo ng evidence. Kailangan mo kailangan mong may mahawakan, may makita, may maamoy. It should be real and observable. Okay? Next is pragmatism. Pwede naman, pag nakita niyo yung word na pragmatism, practical. Pragma, practical. Ibig turo ng isang guro, dapat magamit ng mga estudyante. Practical lang. Pragmatism. Next, ilan pa? Naturalism. From the word natural, this is learning in accordance to the natural human growth and development. Sila yung sumusunod sa kay John Piaget, Erik Erikson, naturalistic kumbaga. Kung ano yung edad ng bata, yung growth ng bata, yun yung sinusunod mo sa pagtuturo. Another definition of naturalism is being with the nature as well. Aside sa human nature, environment din, as in nature talaga. Next is constructivism or constructivist from the word construct, building. Okay? Mag-build ka ng knowledge by combining the present and the past experiences of the child. It is also learner-centered kasi nga nakadepende sa mga bata yan. And this is meaning-making or constructing meaning. Sino nagko-construct ng meaning? Hindi ang guro, kundi ang mga bata. Again, ang teacher is only facilitator kapag learner-centered. Nasa gilid lang tayo, hindi tayo sa gitna. Next, behaviorism. Man is a product of his environment. As easy as that. Kung ano nakikita ng bata, siya mismo, or yun mismo yung natututunan ng bata. Kung anong naririnig ng bata, natututunan ng bata. That's behaviorism. Produkto na ang bata na kanyang environment. Next is number 12, utilitarianism. From the word utility, gamit, use, utility. This is the achievement of total happiness. Ibig sabihin, pag sinabing total, lahat kayo masaya. Gamit siya for me, gamit sa mama ko, sa parents ko, sa kapitbahay ko. All of us can benefit kapag utilitarianism. Nagagamit, useful. Next is empiricism. Kung matututo daw ang bata, it should be sense-based. Ito yung anak ni realism. Si empiricism naman, from the word empirical, dapat may ebidensya. May ginagamit yung senses sa pagkatuto. Kaiba naman, or kabaliktad niya naman si rationalism. Wala akong pake kung maglalaro ka dyan, may mahawakan ka dyan, may naaamoy ka dyan, may nakakain ka. Kay rationalism, as long as I can give reasoning, I can give logical analysis, mind-based learning, rationalistic. Ibig sabihin, natututo na yung bata. Kahit ito lang yung dinedevelop mo. Yun. And those are our philosophical foundations. Next question. Mahaba-haba yun. Facilities. Wala. Such as classrooms, pictures, and equipment can often damage the morale of new teachers and become an obstacle for adapting well to the school environment. Now, what should be the policy for assigning said physical facilities? Sino daw dapat yung i-assign mo sa mga bagong classroom, sa mga lumang classroom? Ano yung basis mo sa pag-assign? For example, ikaw yung principal. Ang basis natin, ideal na sagot. Anong pinaka-ideal na sagot? The basis should be needs of students. Wala kaming pakialam kung bago ka na teacher or luma ka na teacher. Ang papakialaman lang namin is yung needs ng mga bata. Kung kailangan ka nila, ilalagay ka namin dyan. Kung hindi naman, bakit? Bakit pa? Yun. This is learner-centered. Okay. Question number 15. Which is not a component of curriculum designing. Again, saan daw dyan yung hindi component ng curriculum designing? Objective, learning content, learning experiences, diagnosis of needs. Ang hindi kailangan dyan is ang letter B. Diagnosis of needs. Hindi mo na kailangan yan. Kasi ang curriculum designing or tinatawag natin curriculum development, 4 lang yung component. Hindi pa kasali si diagnosis. Ito yung kanyang 4 components. Yun. Aims, objectives, subject matter, learning experiences, at saka evaluation. Now, in this case, para mas madali nating maintindihan, this is This is objective, letter O. Ang subject matter, another word for subject matter is your content. Okay? Kung ano yung tinuturo mo, ano yung laman ng curriculum, ano yung lesson, ano yung mga topics na nasa curriculum. That is the content. Next naman is considered as learning experiences. So meron na naman tayong L. And meron tayong E for evaluation. This is OCLE. Again, sa components of curriculum designing, 4 lang. OCLE. Objectives, content, learning experiences, and evaluation. Again, don't forget about that. OCLE. Objectives, content, learning experiences, and evaluation. Ito tayo. Saan naman galing yung diagnosis of needs? Nanggaling yan siya kay Hilda Taba. Curriculum model din yan siya, pero hindi siya component ng curriculum. Isa lang siya sa mga models ng curriculum. Okay, proceed muna tayo. Sino yung naka-mute? Naka-unmute pala. Mute po muna. Okay. And then let's proceed for our question 16. What do you call the curriculum when the teacher puts into action all the different planned activities? Tapos ka na mag-lesson plan, ang gagawin mo na lang magturo. Anong curriculum yan? Magturo ka na lang, put into action. That is, yun, taught curriculum. Pagtuturo na yan siya na curriculum. Ito yung mga tinatawag nating different types of curriculum. Yung iba, again, you can type in your answers in the chat box. Yan. Ano yung iba't ibang uri ng curriculum? Meron tayong recommended curriculum galing sa mga expert like the DepEd or yung CHED or yung UNESCO, yung international bodies. Next is written curriculum. Ito yung mga curriculum na pasulat, sinusulat, may mga texts and symbols. Example, lesson plan, syllabus. Letter C naman is taught curriculum. Ito yung ginagawa ni teacher. Nagpapa-lecture, nagle-lecture, nagde-discuss, nag-activity, nag-group work si teacher. That's the taught curriculum, the action. Next is supported curriculum from the word support. Ito yung sumusuporta kay teacher, which are IMs and technology. Yung ginagamit mo bilang suporta or support for learning. Paggamit ka ng books, ng PowerPoint, ng projector, and whatsoever. IMs and technology. Letter E naman is the learned curriculum. Ito yung natutunan ng mga bata. It involves the skills na natutunan, experiences na nakuha nila, attitude, at saka yung knowledge na natutunan ng mga bata. KSVA. KSVA or knowledge, skills, values, and attitude. Next question is the hidden curriculum. Pag sinabing hidden curriculum, tago. Hindi tinuturo, pero natututunan ng mga estudyante. Example niyan is punctuality. Ang mga bata, wala namang lesson about tardiness or punctuality sa science. Wala namang ganyang lesson sa math, sa English. Pero natututunan ng mga bata ang pagiging maaga or pagiging maaga. Punctuality. Kasi nga, again, that's what we call hidden curriculum. Hindi siya kasali sa lesson plan, pero natututunan ng mga bata. Hindi siya nakalagay sa curriculum, pero natututunan ng bata. And also respect. Or di kaya yung friendship, hindi din natututunan or hindi tinuturo yan siya sa mga basic subjects. Pero natututunan ng bata sa eskwelahan. Meron pang isa, yung assessed curriculum. From the word assess, assessment, evaluation. Okay. Next question, number 17. The K-12 curriculum is otherwise called as, ito, kanina lang sinabi. Hanapin nyo ang word na, again, let's maximize the chat box. Type lang ng type. Okay, mine lang ng mine. That is, 14 pa lang yung sumagot. 16. Letter C, EBEC. Enhanced Basic Education Curriculum. EBEC. Okay. And that's our K-12 curriculum. Before the K-12, meron din tinatawag na itong RBEC. Ito yung curriculum natin, yung inabutan natin na curriculum. That is hindi siya revitalized, kundi revised Basic Education Curriculum. RBEC. Yun. Next question. What refers to an individual or group of individuals who have direct and indirect influence sa curriculum. Ano tawag sa kanila? None other than, of course, yung ating mga letter B. Very good. Letter B, stakeholders. Pag sinabing stakeholders, kasama ang mga teacher, ang mga estudyante, mga parents, mga community members, officials, PTA. Punta tayo sa question number 19. Objectives must be evaluated in the light of practical consideration. Praktikalan. What characteristic of educational objective is defined by the aforementioned statement? Bago ka mamili ng kung ano mang ituturo mo or kung ano yung gagamitin mo pang turo, you have to have the practical considerations. Ibig sabihin, meron kang feasibility. Another word for feasibility is possibility. Is it possible to be used? Example niyan, kung nasa bukid ka, gagamit ka pa ba ng PPT? Is it practical? Gagamit ka pa ba ng projector? Is it practical? Knowing the situation? It is not. That's why kailangan mong mag-isip sa mga practical consideration. Is it feasible or is it possible to be used? Okay? Ito naman yung iba't ibang components, criteria in selecting curriculum content. Paano ka mamimili ng curriculum content mo? First is self-sufficiency. May mga curriculum content tayo na kahit hindi mo tingnan, kahit hindi mo i-facilitate, kayang gawin ng mga bata. First, research. Ang mga research, bigay mo lang sa mga bata, sila nagagawa. It is self-sufficient. Hindi na kailangan na palaging nandyan si teacher. Independent use. Second one is significance. Again, it should develop the KSV. Yung content na tinuturo mo, magiging significant lang kapag merong knowledge, skills, and values na madedevelop sa mga bata. Next one is validity, authentic, and up-to-date. Example ng validity is ngayon. Nung batch natin, di ba, tinuruan tayo na ilang planets yung meron daw sa solar system sa batch natin. Yung grade 6 pa tayo or grade 5. Ilang planeta yung sinabi sa atin? Meron pang? Yun. Meron na tayong 9 planets. Now, if we're going to take into consideration itong tinatawag nating validity, is it still valid? No. Ngayon, 8 planets na lang. That's what we call validity. Dapat up-to-date yung content na pinipili mo. Hindi luma, hindi outdated. Number 4, interest. Of course, engaging dapat yung content mo. Hindi boring, hindi nakakaduka, hindi ka maglaay. But it should be interesting, engaging, interactive. Number 5, again, utility na naman. From the word, utilize or use. It should be useful. Kung mamimili ka ng content para sa curriculum, dapat magagamit ng bata sa totoong buhay. Number 6, learnability. It should be developmentally appropriate. Hindi masyadong madali, hindi masyadong mahirap. Yan yung learnable. Next is feasibility. Again, possibility to be used. Okay, or implementability. Pwede ba siyang gamitin? Practicality. So those are the different criteria for selecting curriculum content. Number 20, the state shall protect and promote the right of citizens to quality education. Which government program is in support of this? Saan daw dyan? If you want to protect the right of citizens, anong gagawin mo? Right nila to quality education. Exclusion of children, free elementary education, deregulated tuition fee, reintroduction of NEET and ENSA. Anong gagawin mo? Letter. Yun. Letter B. Free elementary and secondary education. Pwede mong i-apply dito yung odd one out. Kasi siya lang yung naiiba. Siya lang yung positive out of the choices. Si letter B lang yung positive. Okay? Number 20. The Filipino learner envisioned by the Department of Education is one who is imbued with the desirable values of person who is, ano yung nire-recite natin, taga-plug ceremony. Maka. Letter D? Bakit mali si letter D? Anong mali kay letter D? Ang salita? Wag naman yung makakaragatan. Hindi naman kailangan niya. Si letter C mali din because of the word. Si Ren na pala. Mali si letter C because of the word. Yun, wag namang selfish. Grabe naman. Mali din si letter B because of the word. Makahalaman. Hindi naman plantita yung goal ng DepEd. Makabayan or makabansa, makatao, makakalikasan, at makadiyos. Okay? So that is our correct answer. Makahalaman. Plantita pala. Number 22, Department of Education din sa. 22 natin is under RA 10912 or the CPD Law or CPD Act of 2016. How many CPD units ang required? Letter C. Pero ngayon, ilan na lang ngayon? 15 na lang. So that's the answer. Letter C, 45. It is under RA 10912 or the CPD law. Ilang years bago i-renew? Ilang years nire-renew yung lisensya natin after? Yun. After every 3 years. Nice. Number 23. Teacher Anna gave up being a teacher because she cannot handle the misbehavior of her students. Anong ginawa ni Teacher Anna? Nag-give up si Teacher Anna. Anong quality ng teacher yung wala kay Teacher Anna? Nag-give up siya. A, B, C, D. Letter? Yun. Si Teacher Anna, hindi buoyant. Hindi siya nagra-rise up to that challenge. Ba, yan ibig sabihin na buoyancy. Pag sinabi natin teacher qualities, maraming quality yung hinahanap sa teacher kaysa sa mga senator. Mas maraming quality ng teacher yung hinahanap. Una, ano yun? Una is the quality of intelligence. O, tanong, matalino ka ba para maging guro? Okay na? Matalino tayong lahat bilang mga guro. O, check na yan, sir. You should be able to decide and to think analytically. Second one is you should be compassionate. Maawain ka ba? Yes or no?
It's not help.
No. Ang laki ng no, ha? Next is number 3 is emotional stability. Ang teacher hindi nag-wild. Pa-mute po muna kami, sir. Ang teacher hindi nag-wild. Sila. Okay, ang teacher hindi nag-walk out. Never walk out. Ang teacher dapat emotionally stable. Hindi nagbe-breakdown in front of the class. Hindi nagagalit palagi. Stable lang. Are you emotionally stable right now? Yun yung problema ng mga Gen Z teacher. Innovative. Ang mga teacher daw, creative. Malikhain ka ba? Yes or no? Ganun question lang. Fairness. Are you equal? Unbiased. Fair ka ba? Self-confidence. Ito yung mentality na I can do it mentality. Kahit gaano kahirap ng lesson, kahit gaano kahirap ng mga activities, kakayanin ni teacher. Next is cooperativeness. You are able to work with others from the word cooperation or cooperative. Next is buoyancy. Ito yung nagsasurvive ka in difficult situation like this. Masyadong maingay yung mga estudyante mo, hindi ka na makafocus and whatsoever. Buoyant. From the word buoy ba? Di ba ang buoy, kahit anong lubog mo sa tubig, umaakyat pa din. Reliability. Are you reliable? Are you honest? Are you sincere? Are you trustworthy bilang guro? Pwede ka bang masaligat ng mga bata? Okay, yun yung mga quality ha. Paki-check ng mga checkable box. Yun. Kaya ba, Ma'am Michelle? Yun. May Generation Alpha pa na. Mahirap na. Sige, tingnan natin in the future. Number 24, behaviorism is a philosophy that has been anchored to the theories that relate to black behaviorism. Saan daw dyan yung pang-behaviorist? A, trial and error. 1, trial and error. 2, stimulus and response or SR. 3, brain and thinking. Letter, pabutin natin ng 15. Letter, of course, none other than letter B, 1 and 2. Si trial and error, kapag nagkamali ka, ulitin mo ulit hanggang sa makabisado mo. Practice yan siya. That is under the concept of behaviorism. SR, or yung tinatawag nating stimulus response theory, is under, kaninong ano yan? Kaninong theory yan? SR theory. Kaninong conditioning yan? Classical conditioning by Ivan Pavlov. Behaviorist din naman si Pavlov. Na ang mali dito is si number 3. Kasi nga, brain and thinking is not behaviorism. That is, ano yan sa? Yun. Cognitivism. Cognitive lang. Yun. Sige, move on tayo. Okay na ba? Kaya niyo na bang mag-move on? Number 25. Cognitivist. Yun. In schools dominated by children of IP or indigenous people natin, what is the focus of learning that can instill pride for the elements of the young learner's culture? Yun. Kung nagtuturo ka sa isang IP community, ano yung mga bagay na pwede mong ipakita sa kanila para maging proud din naman sila? O para maging proud talaga sila. That is, yun. That is letter D. Positive elements of culture. Yun. Pag sinabing positive elements of culture, lahat ng magaganda tungkol sa kanilang kultura, ibalandra mo, ipakita mo sa kanila. Magiging proud yung mga bata sa kultura nila. Huwag naman si letter A, history. Kasi hindi lahat ng history masaya. Hindi lahat ng history maganda. Okay? And concerns of ethnic communities, this is also not the answer kasi pag sinabing concerns of ethnic communities, ipapakita mo sa kanila kung ano yung mga needs, mga kailangan nila, mga pagkukulang nila na that needs concern. Okay? Bawal din siya. Next. Sige, nakahabol pa si Sir Alicar. That is number 26. For meaningful teaching and learning, it is best to connect the lesson to the life of students by integrating a relevant value. Saan dyan makikita ang value? Value. That is letter.
Letter A.
Letter. Meron tayong sinasabing, mali pala. Makikita mo ang relevant value kapag meron kang in-inject or in-integrate na 3 domains of learning. May cognitive, may psychomotor or skills, and may affective values, emotional aspect yung dating kapag may 3 domains of learning. Okay? Yun. Letter C. Affective. Number 27. What needs to be eliminated so that schools can be transformed into a learning community? Letter. Yan. Letter. Nakita na. Sige lang. Letter C. Tama naman lahat ng sagot. Letter C. Centralized government. Bakit ka hindi magiging learning community kung centralized yung government? Pag sinabi kasi nating learning community, you learn from one another. Hindi isa lang yung nagdidikta. Sa centralized government, kung ano yung dinidikta ng isang gobyerno or ng isang organization sa taas, yun yung susundin ng lahat ng nasa baba. Hindi yun pwede. Walang learning na nangyayari doon. Nangyayari lang doon is pass the message. Wala doon. And this is also add one up. Siya lang yung nag-iisang negative in this sense, in this context. Number 27. Teacher Ivy avoids drills out of context. She gives real-world math problems for students to drill on. Teacher Ivy is very much convinced of which principle of learning. Learning is cooperative and collaborative. Learning is discovery of personal meaning. Learning is active. Effective learning begins with setting of expectation. Pag gumamit ka ng real or authentic questions or authentic activities, ang mga bata, because it is based on real life, mas nakaka-relate ang mga bata, nagiging personal yung dating ng lesson ni teacher. Okay? Again, dahil real life siya or real world siya, magiging personal because it is relevant and relatable sa mga bata. So meron tayong marami tayong principles of learning. Unang-una, learning is an experience which occurs inside the learner and is activated by the learner. Kung ayaw matuto ng bata, kahit gaano kagaling yung teacher, hindi matututo ang bata kung ayaw niya talagang matuto in the first place. Because again, learning is activated by the learner. Siya mismo, wala nang iba. Siya lang. Number 2, learning is the discovery of the personal meaning and relevance of ideas. Again, it should be relevant, it should be relatable, yung mga ginagamit natin. Number 3, learning is a consequence of experience. Lahat ng pagkatuto, dahil yan sa learning experience ng mga bata. Hindi sila natututo out of nowhere, out of the blue. Hindi ganun yun. Kailangan nilang ma-receive ng maraming experience. Number 4, learning is a cooperative and collaborative process. Learners should work together with the teacher and together with their co-learners. Yan yung tinatawag na cooperative and collaborative. Hindi lang si teacher at saka student, pwede din si student at saka si student, or yung other group to another group. That's cooperative and collaborative process. Number 5, learning is an evolutionary process. Ibig sabihin, learning takes time. Kagaya ng evolution. Bago tayo naging tao, naging unggoy, naging ang tawag sa atin. We underwent evolutionary process that took millions of years. So kagaya ng learning, it will take time. Okay, huwag magmadali. Masasaktan ka. Number 6, learning is sometimes a painful process. Tama ba? Masakit matuto. Kasi nga, kapag natututo ka, you have to let go of something old. Tama ba? Kung gusto mong matuto, you need to let go of something old para may space for something new. Nasa sa painful process, example niya, aside sa relationship, painful process kasi ang nangyayari dito, parang mga teacher ba? Like yung mga teacher na traditional, yung mga teacher na matatanda na. Di ba? Huwag lang sa relationship na lang. Sometimes, a painful process kasi nga, they have to learn how to use laptop, how to use internet, how to use technologies. And napakahirap nun on their part. But they need to learn it kasi nga, sometimes it is painful. Learning is a painful process. How much more sa mga bata, di ba? Nga wala pa silang kaalam-alam. Number 7. One of the richest. Grabe naman si Ma'am Genevieve. More. Okay, madali ka lang naman iwan. Madali ka lang kalimutan. Huwag naman ganon. Lahat memorable. Okay? Tumatatak kahit masakit. One of the richest resource for learning is the learner himself. Shukran, bago. Ang pinakamagandang source ng learning is the learner himself. Bakit? Kaya nga meron tayong tinatawag na constructivism. Kaninong prior knowledge yung ina-activate mo? I-activate mo yung sa bata. That because the learner is the most, the richest source of information or learning. Siya mismo. Kaya nga hindi tayo naniniwala sa tabula rasa, di ba? Ang bata hindi sarado or hindi blanco yung utak. May laman yan. Number 8, the process of learning is emotional as well as intellectual. Huwag palaging puso. Meron ding utak. Okay? If you're going to fall in love with learning, bring your brain with you. Okay? You can apply that in any means. Next one. Actually, dapat kulang ito. The process of learning is emotional, intellectual, and physical. The process of problem solving and learning are highly unique and individual. Napakaganda ng problem solving. Kasi nga, ang problem solving ang parang HOTSMA, higher order thinking skills. Okay? Mag-move on na ba tayo? Okay na? Okay, sige. Yun na, okay na. Number 29. How is the ripple effect illustrated in the class of teacher Elena? What is your keyword? Ripple. Ripple effect. Ano ibig sabihin ng ripple effect? Pwedeng? Pag ripple effect, nag-ingay ang isa, mag-iingay lahat. Pwedeng ganyan. That is letter A. Escalation of misbehavior. Ibig sabihin, kung ang isa nag-iingay sa harap, mag-iingay ang nasa likod, mag-iingay ang nasa gilid. But, take note, ang ripple effect, hindi lang siya for misbehavior. Pwede din siya for good behavior. Example, pag binigyan mo ng star yung isa, kasi nakatama siya ng sagot, yung iba sasagot din ng tama para magkaroon sila ng star. Ripple effect din tawag siya. It can be misbehavior or good demeanor. Okay, ito yung tinatawag nating mga GMA or managerial approaches. Yun. Pag sinabi nating GMA, group managerial approaches, o ito yung mga classroom management natin. The first one is, yan, ripple effect. Domino effect ito siya. Ang mga bata, usually, again, nagpapasahan lang yan lang sila ng behavior. Kinokopya-kopya yung iba. Next is with witness, eyes in the back or at the back of the head. Kahit wala ka sa loob ng classroom, alam mo kung ano ang nangyayari. Next is the halo effect, cognitive bias. Pag ikaw ang judge, tapos may sumali na best friend mo, anong mangyayari? Kung ikaw as a judge, meron kang cognitive bias sa best friend mo. For example, or di kaya, let's say yung laban ni Manny Pacquiao. Sa boxing, sa boxing. Kung sa boxing, pipiliin talaga natin si Pacquiao kahit alam nating malakas yung kalaban. That's what we call cognitive bias. Kasi nga, meron tayong personal agenda dito. Yes, kasi nga, sa din yung pagbato natin. Halo effect yan siya. If you do not give proper judgment, if it is clouded by bias. Next is Hawthorne effect, observer effect. Kung merong for example, sa mga teacher, may mga teachers na kung walang supervisor, kung walang mag-observe, uupo lang sa harap. Magdi-discuss lang. Pero kung may supervisor, may PPT na, may IMs pa, nakatayo pa all the time. Hawthorne effect yan siya. Plastikan, kumbaga. Kung alam mo, ino-obserbahan ka, ginagalingan mo.
Sir, nang iwan.
Sir, wag niyo muna kami iwas. Sir,
Sir, naglag ka.
sir, naglag po kayo, sir.
Nag-move on na si sir.
Yan yung tinatawag na GMA effect.
ABS-CBN na lang.
Sir Bernard. Uminom daw po muna kayo ng tubig eh, kaya tayo nainis.
Hello. No matter what you are, yes, I'm the best.
Ah, isa to.
Hello, good evening. You can take your break maybe after 3 minutes. Papasok na daw po si sir. Thank you.
Hello po! Single ba si sir? Buhon na. Naririnig na po ba ako?
Yes, sir.
Yes po.
Yes, sir.
Yes
Sige po. Proceed po tayo. Okay na po ba? Asan po tayo nawala?
29.
20? Ito, dito po. Have you discussed this one? Ito yung tinatawag itong placebo effect. Tapos na ba tayo? O ano yung na-discuss lang natin? So,
Yung Hawthorne effect. Hawthorne effect.
Hawthorne effect naman yan. Sige, thank you po. So sa Hawthorne effect, again, plastikan. Let's start, okay? Tinabahan ako kasi nawalan ng kuryente. Hawthorne effect naman is the observer effect. Pag sinabing observer effect, kapag may nag-observe, nagiging plastikan, gumagaling, nagiging maayo, gumaganda ang performance. Kasi nga may nag-observe. The next one is placebo effect. Pag sinabi natin placebo effect, ito yung fake treatment. First question, sa licensure exam, ano nga yung susuotin daw na, anong kulay ng underwear ang susuotin? Correct. Pula. Pulang-pula. Alam natin hindi effective, but we do it because somehow it becomes effective if you believe in it. Placebo effect yan siya. Lagyan mo daw ng piso yung sole ng sapatos mo. Sipain mo daw yung chair kapag tapos ka na may exam. Huwag ka na daw tumingin pabalik sa room mo kapag tapos na yung exam para hindi ka na daw mag-retake. Placebo effect. Thanks for the info. Placebo effect tawag doon. Now, Jastrows effect naman is what we call imposed expectation. Yung mga teacher na nagpaparinig, ito yung para ma-manage yung behavior ng bata ba? Iuupo sa harapan tapos sasabihin na, alam mo, yung mga bata sa kabilang section no, ang tahimik nila. Yung sa kabilang section no, ang behave nila, ang linis ng room nila, nagpaparinig. Nag-i-impose ng expectation indirectly. Yan yung Jastrows effect. Okay, kaya na ba? Pwede na mag-move on?
Yes po, sir. Move on na.
Yun, move on na tayo. Sige, next is number 30. The AV Technology Resource Center regularly provides the teachers a list of websites, apps, and instructional materials available in the city. This fully fulfill which function of the center? Anong ginawa ng center? Recreational, laboratory, link to community, center of resources. Ang nangyari lang, naging link lang si AV. Hindi siya naging center of resources, naging link to community resource lang siya. Kasi ang ginawa lang niya lang is magbigay ng list. Pero hahanapin pa sa city. So wala silang ganun. Hahanapin pa ng mga teacher. Okay, link to community resources. Number 31. How is truancy best understood so that appropriate responses can be made to prevent it? Anong keyword? Truancy. Anong ibig sabihin ng truancy? Ang mga batang truan, they are having absenteeism with good reason. Hindi nagpapakita, hindi nagpaparamdam. Pagka magbibigay na ng grade, itatanong ka, bakit ganito lang yung grade ko, sir? See, that those are students na truan. Hindi mo alam kung nasaan na sila. Okay. Si A, C, and D naman, ito yung tinatawag natin mga valid excuses. Valid reasons, kumbaga. Absent due to family problem, absent siya with permission, absent siya due to sickness. Okay na, okay yan sila. Okay? Question number 32. What type of learners learn better than others, particularly during class lectures, discussions, and other forms of oral communication? Sino dyan sa kanila yung type of learner na mas magaling kung may pinakikinggan? Oral discussion, lecture, yung mga ganon. Ano tawag sa kanila? Those kids are? Yun. They are what we call auditory learners. Mas gusto nila nakikinig. Kahit hindi na tumitingin, nakikinig lang. Gusto na yung discussion. How about tactile learners? Pag sinabing tactile learners, magkaiba si tactile at saka sa kinesthetic, ha? Ang tactile, kamay lang. Kumbaga, fine motor lang yan. Habang kapag may discussion, mas gusto nilang may sinusulat, nagte-take ng notes. Si kinesthetic naman, ito yung mga batang hindi mapapali kapag pinapaupo mo ng matagal na matagal. Kailangan nilang mag-move talaga. Gross motor skill talaga yung labanan nila. Kinesthetic. Ang visual, kailangan ng visual aids. Kahit si teacher is also a visual aid. May tinitingnan yung bata. So those are the different types of learners. So saan kayo dyan? Tactile, auditory, visual, kinesthetic, magala. Yun. Punta tayo sa question number 32. What comprises the spiral approach in teaching math in the K-12 curriculum? Spiral approach. Saan dyan yung pang-spiral approach? Letter?
E.
Letter?
E.
Yun. Letter D. Progressively teach math concepts for grade 1 and continue to grade 10. Ito yung maganda sa curriculum nila. Sa atin kasi, kung ma-remember niyo nung high school tayo, ang tinuturo sa first year is bio. Life science. Lahat ng mga sa life science. Sa second year, biology. Sa third year, chemistry. Sa fourth year, physics. Tama ba? So yan yung ginagawa sa RPEC, yung curriculum natin. Tama? Yun. Ang sa K-12, tinuturo nila lahat. Biology, chemistry, physics, earth science. Sa iisang level. Tapos ituturo ulit nila sa next level, pero mas mahirap na. And aakyat. Yan yung tinatawag na spiral. Hanapin nyo lang yung word na progression. Because the full name of this is spiral progression approach. Kay Jerome Bruno, spiral progression approach. Yun. Okay? Now, let's proceed with the next one. All of these questions should be answered by curriculum except na remember nyo pa yung curriculum design? Meron tayong OCLE. Saan dyan yung hindi tanong regarding OCLE? Hindi mo kailangan ang tanong about sa yun. You don't need to answer this. Qualification ng teacher. Walang pakialam ang curriculum dyan. Ang sa kanila lang is OCLE. Objectives, content, learning experiences, and evaluation. Ito, balikan natin. So si question number, si letter A is all about learning experiences. Si letter B, outcomes. And si letter C, subjects or content. So lahat ng yan, parehong tungkol sa curriculum. Next question. Ano yun? Number 35. There is a scarcity of materials in remote barrios. Now, if you are a creative and innovative teacher, what must you do? Ano pwede mong gawin? Creative and innovative ka. Pwede kang, huwag mong gawin yung buy commercial. Wala namang creativity sa pagbili. Next is borrow materials. Again, hindi ka pwedeng manghiram kasi nga scarcity, nagkukulang na nga. Next is just use the lecture method is not also a form of creativity. That is to prepare from the word improvise. Create something out of another thing. Improvisation. Number 36. What is the response for millennials who are becoming adept at virtual reality, digital tools, and not in actual reality? Anong pwede mong gawin? There are answers here na pwedeng isagot. Pwede mo siyang isagot. But we will look for the most ideal answer. That is letter D. Learning in context of reality. Pero in reality, ang ginagamit ng mga school ngayon is no mobile phones in school. Kasi ayaw natin ng mga distractions, kung tawagin daw. Next, number 36. Pa-mute muna kami, ma'am, sir. Thank you very much. Number 37. What knowledge refers to how well you know the subject? How well you know the subject. Letter. Ito yung knowledge na alam mo. Master mo yung tinuturo mo. Yung subject, or in other word, subject also means content. Letter, ayan na naman. Letter B, content knowledge. Saan to galing? Yung discussion na ito. Nanggaling ito siya sa, ito, meron tayong T, P, C. O yung tinatawag nating technological integration under TPAC. Technological, pedagogical, and content knowledge. Meron tayong 3 knowledge according to TPAC. Technological knowledge, pedagogical knowledge, and content. Pag sinabing technological, ito yung magaling. Alam na alam mo kung anong technology ang gagamitin. Marunong kang gumamit ng PowerPoint, ng internet, ng technologies. Pedagogy naman is when you master the art of teaching. Alam na alam mo, gamay na gamay mo paano magturo. Number 3 naman, content. Alam na alam mo kung ano yung tinuturo mo. Again, ang pedagogy is how to teach, paano magturo. Ang content is what to teach or ano yung tinuturo mo. Okay? TPAC yan siya. So sa TPAC natin, again, merong intersection. Ang daming intersection. May mga teacher na, example, magaling magturo, alam yung tinuturo, matalino din, alam yung content ng tinuturo, pero walang technical knowledge. Hindi marunong gumamit ng laptop, ng PowerPoint, ng projector. PCK lang tawag sa kanila ito. PCK. May mga teacher din, like mga baguhan na teacher, magaling sa technical, sa technology, magaling din sa content. Kasi baguhan matalino pa. Pero wala pang experience sa pedagogy. So ang tawag lang sa kanila is TCK, Technological Content Knowledge. Okay, but overall, ang ina-achieve natin is TPAC level. Dapat lahat ng knowledges na ito, alam natin. Number 38. Which of the following is the most acceptable expression of praise for learners who did well in specific task? Anong pwede mong sabihin sa bata mo? Ano pwede mong sabihin sa bata? Letter Oh, wag naman si letter A. Baka masuntok ka ng bata mo mismo. Si letter D, baka masampal ka ulit. Wag din si letter B, sasabihin mo, uy, ang galing mo, naswertehan ka lang. Hindi, mag-aaway pa kayo. Letter C lang yung tamang sagot. You did very well in such a difficult task. Kahit plastikan lang, ipakita mo sa bata na magaling siya. Okay? Number 38. Number 39. Given the great opportunity to teach abroad, the global Filipino teacher faces the social challenge of letter. Anong pinakamahirap na challenge kapag nasa abroad ka? Merong mga cultural barriers or cultural differences. Magkaiba ng lingwahe, magkaiba ng beliefs, magkaiba ng customs. Ibang-iba. Kaya yan yung pinakamahirap na challenge or pinakamahirap na change. Number 40. How can students be best re-educated on the ethical use of social media? Anong best way para lang maturuan mo yung bata paano gumamit ng Facebook? Di ba? These are mga idealist question. Kasi in reality, hindi na tinuturuan paano gumamit ng Facebook na maayos. Anong tamang gawin dito? Pwede mo silang most ideal, kahit plastikan, integrate social media competence. The most ideal answer. Okay, that's question number 40. Kaya pa ba?
Kakayanin.
Uy, magawa naman.
Kakayanin, sir.
Kaya pa ba?
Kakayanin.
sir.
Kakayanin. Yun,
Kakayanin,
sige, kakayanin. Kakayanin na lang. Kakayanin yan. Question number 41. A student gets a numerical grade of 80. Anong ibig sabihin ng 80 sa K-12?
Satisfactory.
That means satisfactory. Pag 99,
Very satisfying.
Outstanding.
higher. Yun. Outstanding. Walang perfect dito, ha? Outstanding lang. Yun. 90 to 100. Okay. That is 80 to 84. Satisfactory. Okay. Next question. Which of the following may generate interpersonal relationship? Makakabuo daw ng relasyon sa mga workmates mo. Or di kaya mga co-teacher mo. Yun, outstanding. Outstanding. Letter C. Off-site respite. Pag sinabi natin off-site, ibig sabihin lang ng off-site is wala kayo sa school. And respite is rest or recreation. Ibig sabihin, magkakaroon kayo ng team building. Ewan ko lang kung nabubuo ba ang team. Pero masaya ang team building. Camping. Yung mga ganyan, yung you have to know one another better. That's off-site respite. Okay. Sige, punta tayo sa number 43, which is the percentage contribution of quarterly assessment sa grade 1 to 10. Ano nga yung paulit-ulit? That is?
20%.
That is yun. Letter, none other than letter D. 20%. So, ito yun. Ito yung tinatawag nating percentage distribution in terms of K-12 curriculum 4, grades 1 to 10 lang ito. Grade 1 to 10. Sa languages, ESP, that is 30, 50, 20. Science and math, pantay lang ang written work and performance, 40, 40, 20. Pagdating sa mga PTLE, napakalaki ng performance, 20, 60, 20. Kasi nga, sa curriculum natin dati, kahit hindi ka marunong mag-sports, ikaw pa ang best in MAPE. Sino na best in MAPE dito, hindi magaling sa sports? Marami sa atin. Sa MAPE, yan yung problem sa curriculum natin dati. Pero ngayon, 60% na ang performance. So kung magaling ka talaga sa sports or sa skills, mataas yung grade mo sa ganyan mga topics or sa mga subjects na yan. Okay? Question number. Move muna tayo. Number 44. What is the percentage work contribution of written work for grades 1 to 10 in science and math? Bakit nauutal ako? Science and math. Ilan nga yun? Yan.
Or-
40, 40. Yes, sir, Mitch or Ma'am Mitch. 40, 40, 20. Letter C, 40%. Number 45. Number 45, in MAPE and TLE, which contributes heaviest to the student grade? Anong pinakamay mabigat na percentage? Letter?
Performance task.
letter D.
Ayun, letter D, performance task. Ilang porsyento? This is worth 60 points. Or 60%, sorry. 60%. Ganyan ka. Grabe. Yun. Performance task. Question number 46. Based on percentage contribution to the grade, what can be inferred from the DepEd's emphasis on learning and assessment? Anong focus daw ng DepEd? Base sa mga distribution nila ng grade, ano kaya yung focus nila?
Performance task.
Performance task. Emphasis.
Ang focus nila, yung may pinakamalaking percentage ay yung performance tasks. Si number 1, mali. Emphasis is quarterly assessment. No, this is the lowest, 20%. Si letter C, components are equally emphasized. Hindi din equal, iba-iba. Emphasis depends on the grade level. No, pareho lang si grade 1 to 10. Next question. Number 47. What is the element in extrinsic motivation used in giving big raffles? Kapag nagpa-raffle yung mga boss ninyo,
Letter D.
ibig sabihin lang yan, meron,
Letter D.
hindi siya
Value
frequent
of
reward.
rewards.
Kasi ilang beses ka ba mananalo sa raffle? Only one. So hindi siya frequent reward. Hindi din siya praise device. Kasi ang raffle, random si raffle. So hindi siya papuri sa'yo kung nabunutan ka. Yun lang siya. That is, malapit na sa high expectation, sir. Yun, value of rewards. Okay, si high expectations, hindi din porket nanalo ka sa raffle, mataas na yung expectation sa'yo. Wala namang bearing. Katuwaan lang naman si raffle. Value of rewards. Matutuwa ka kasi na-rewardan ka ng raffle. Number 48. What assessment is judgment of students' skill? Students' skill. Anong gagamitin mo? Anong assessment? Letter? Gagamit ka ba ng summative, self, performance, or peer? Gumamit ka ng letter C, performance. This is what we call validity. Kung ano tinuro mo, yun dapat yung assessment mo. Kung tinuruan mo sila ng isang skill, tapos yung assessment mo pala is final exam, written pa talaga, that is invalid already. Performance dapat. Number 49. In which assessment level is identifying the authors of given literary pieces from the word identify? Synthesize, recall, understand, or analyze?
Recalling.
Synthesize, yun. Simple recall. Again, simple recall. Nalalaman mo lang kasi yun yung na-memorize mo. Memorization lang yun sa simple recall. Identifying the authors. Okay. Now, this is, yun. Ito yung tinatawag nating taxonomy of objectives. Luma yung kanina. Ito yung bago. Yung RUA-EC. RUA-EC. Remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, creating. Again, RUA-EC. Next is affective domain. Ito naman yung tinatawag nating RR-VOC. Sorry. RR-VOC. Receiving, responding, valuing, organization, and then the characterization. Ika-characterize na nila yung mga values na natutunan nila. The last one is psychomotor or simply OIPA. OIPA. So, ganyan yung mga taxonomy of objectives natin for cognitive, affective, and psychomotor. From simplest or lower order thinking skills, paakyat sa higher order thinking skills. Okay? Sige. Pwede na bang mag-move on? Okay na to?
Yes.
Pwede na? Pwede na. Punta tayo sa next one. Number 50. 1/3 na tayo. Which of the following is a diagnostic assessment? Letter.
Letter D.
Letter.
Letter D. D.
Letter. Ginagawa ang diagnostic assessment pwedeng before or after the class. Ang letter A, quiz. Ano nga yung quiz? Anong type of assessment for learning yan? Quiz is
Formative.
formative. Achievement test is summative. Of course, hindi ka pwedeng magpa-achievement test after one lesson. Dapat matapos mo yung quarter. Journal writing is also formative. Pagkatapos ng isang lesson, 10-item test para malaman mo yung strength at saka weakness ng bata. That's what we call diagnostic assessment. Okay? Para malaman mo kung ano yung natutunan at saka hindi pa natututunan ng mga bata. Yun. And that's the end of our first out of 3 parts. Okay lang ba yung pacing natin? Masyadong mabilis or masyadong mabagal?
Okay lang, sir.
Sakto.
Okay
lang,
sir.
Sakto ra?
Sakto kay sir.
Sakto kayo.
Sakto lang, sir.
So, just right. Both. Nice. Okay, we will start with question number 51. Ang tanong, kaya pa ba?
Kakayanin.
Kakayanin, sir.
Uy! Hindi naman tumawang energy. Kaya pa ba?
Kaya.
Kaya,
Kaya po.
Ayos.
Kaya, Gid. Kakayanin. Okay. Question number 50. Question 50. Ito yung assessment natin. Pag sinabing assessment 4, ang pinaka-best example ng assessment 4 is formative. As easy as that. Formative. Ginagawa mo yung assessment 4 pag matapos mo yung isang lesson. Gagawin mo naman si assessment of kapag natapos mo yung isang quarter, isang unit, isang chapter ng isang grupo ng lessons. Example niya is periodical exam or summative test or quarterly exams. Assessment as learning naman, ito yung nangyayari kahit ito yung nangyayari na self-assessment. Ang teacher, ina-assess niya yung sarili niya kung tama yung ginagawa niya. Ang mga estudyante doon, ina-assess nila yung sarili nila kung tama ba yung ginagawa nila. Kung pasok pa ba sa criteria or sa rubrics na ginamit ng teacher. Assessment as learning. Pwede mong gawing self-assessment. AS. S-A-D-L. Self-assessment. Number 51. Which facilities are present in a health-promoting school environment? Ito, paulit-ulit na ito na item. Ano dyan yung para sa health-promoting school environment? Letter? Yun. Letter. Mali si number 1, may junk food. Mali si number 2 kasi common. Baka natutuwa pa kayo sa common ha, kasi pareho ang lalaki at babae ng class ng comfort zone. Mali yan. Sanitary drinking fountain is good and a safe playground is better or good. Number 51, letter D. Number 52. In Erickson's psychosocial theory, ay nako. In Erickson's psychosexual theory, what is applicable to the statement, I am confident? Again, I am confident. I can do this. I.
Letter D.
Initiative.
Kaya ko, gagawin ko to. Ako lang, that is initiative. Kaya mong gawin kahit ikaw lang mag-isa. Kaya mong gawin kahit wala ka nang sinusunod. That is initiative. Now, ito naman yung tinatawag nating Erickson's psychosocial development theory. In this case, you don't have to memorize a lot. Ang gagawin mo lang, titingnan mo lang yung virtue at saka maladaptation. Okay, for example natin ha. Anong edad na ba tayo? Letter, young adult tayo. Kung young adult tayo, ang psychosexual virtue daw dapat natin, na-achieve na daw dapat natin yung love. Tanong, na-achieve nyo na ba?
Wala.
Merong
Hirap,
mga
sir.
tao, merong mga
Love.
tao na na-achieve na yung love. Pero may mga tao din na nagiging maladaptation. Ang maladaptation, meron kang love pero sumobra. Nagiging promiscuity. Kahit sino pinapatulan. Maladaptation yan. Sumobra sa love. Ang malignancy naman, yan yung nagkulang ka naman sa love. Ito yung exclusivity. Kapag nagiging single ka palagi. Nagkulang ka sa pagmamahal. Yun, that is exclusivity. Ayaw mo mag-correlate with one another. Gusto mo ikaw lang. Tapos tatakluban mo pa ng self-love kasi ito. Jamming. Self-love, yeah. But that is, again, ito lang yung importante, ano, yung virtues at saka maladaptation and malignancy. That's it. Okay, next, number 53. What developmental task best displays adolescents? Sa mga teenagers daw, ano yung nangyayari sa kanila? Kaya pala iniiwan dahil nagkulang. Or baka sumobra. Self-assessment ang kailangan mo, sir. What developmental task best displays adolescents? Ano yung kailangan nila? Meron tayong identity versus yun. Sex role confusion. Diyan pa natin tinitingnan kung masculine ba tayo or feminine ba tayo. Or other options. Maraming ganyan. Sa pagka-high school yan sa mga bata. Number 54. Principal Tina observed that teacher Sisa lectures the whole hour. Tapos aalis. Nag-lecture lang siya, tapos umalis na agad, nag-discuss lang. Anong principle of learning was absent or violated? Nagsalita si teacher Sisa. Wala siyang walang active participation ang mga bata. Ibig sabihin, passive recipient ang mga bata. Hindi nagsasalita yung mga bata, nakikinig lang, receive lang yung mga bata. That's another violation sa principle of learning. Yun, ito yung kanina, principles of learning natin. Number 55 tayo. By being able to hold her anger even when provoked, teacher Honey shows her personal quality of hindi ka na palaging nagagalit. Ano tawag nga yan? Hindi ka nag-wild. Hindi ka napipikon agad-agad. Hindi ka nag-lash out. Hindi ka nag-breakdown. Meron kang emotional stability. Sana all. Meron. Question number 56. Ito pala yung quality kanina. Sa data. So, according to John Piaget's cognitive concept, which refers to cognitive structure. Ito lang keyword natin. Describe niya na. Other words for cognitive structure is, ito yung tinatawag nating, letter C, schema. Ito yung mga folder sa brain natin, mga schema. Okay, ito yung alam na natin, pumapasok sa brain natin. Na pag sinabi naman accommodation, from the word accommodate, you are trying to accommodate something new and then emerge mo sa something old, if possible. Assimilation naman is facing like very or entirely new talaga yung information. Hindi mo ma-accommodate sa lumang information. Like bagong-bago. Like bago mo nakita yung or nakapunta ka abroad. Assimilation yan siya kasi hindi mo ma-accommodate kasi wala ka pa namang experience abroad. Okay? Pero kung ma-accommodate mo siya, like may old, tapos yung bago is relatable din naman, accommodation yan. Pero kung entirely new talaga yung dinagdag, assimilation tawag niya. That is, according to John Piaget. Okay? Kapag masyadong bago, assimilation. Kapag pwede mo i-connect sa luma, accommodation. 57. Sequence the stages of prenatal development. Ano yung pinakauna? Ano yung pinakahuli? Stages of prenatal development. Letter?
B.
Yun. Letter, always look. Ang ganito lang, ang clue lang dito is blastocyst is always last. Again, blastocyst is always last. Ano sagot? Blastocyst. Always last, letter, yun, letter A. Huli palagi si number 2 or blastocyst. A pala. Binabawi pa? Okay. Number 58. What does the cut and paste research output of students demonstrate? Nagka-copy and paste lang yung mga bata. Therefore, anong nangyari? What does it mean? What does it show? It shows na yung mga estudyante mo hindi marunong mag-isip at magsulat. Copy-paste lang palagi. Yun. Maraming tamang sagot. Common question din ito siya. Yun. Letter A. Question number. Plagiarism. Yung mga copyright infringement. Kinakopya lang. Cut-paste lang. Number 59. For Erickson, what causes a person to be inhibited from taking a role, a challenge, or an opportunity? Reasoning out that nothing ventured, nothing lost. Kung hindi ko gagawin, walang mawawala sa akin. What's your answer? Another
Inhibition.
keyword here is, yun, another keyword is inhibited. That is letter, letter C, inhibition. Letter C, inhibition. Number 60. At birth, ilang neurons yung nasa loob ng utak ng isang baby? Bagong panganak, that is
50 billion.
letter. Yan. Pag
D.
bagong panganak, ang bata, merong 50 billion neurons. Pero the correct answer here is 100 billion. Again, ang at most doon is 100 billion dapat yung tamang sagot. Okay, ngayon ba, ilan na lang ba yung neurons na tira sa atin? Ilan na tira na lang? Meron pa siyang 50 billion. Ngayon sa licensure exam, ilan na lang? 2. Nagkakaway pa. That is 50% na lang. 5 na lang. O, sige, bawasan pa natin yan. Next, number 61. You have to remember the steps in opening a computer. Remembering, that is
Knowledge.
remembering.
Okay.
Simple yun. Simple recall.
Retrieval.
Retrieval yun. This is the counterpart of remembering. Retrieval. Pero hindi na ito siya kay Bloom's taxonomy. Kanino na ito? Kay Marzano and Kendall. Orak na ako. Kay Marzano and Kendall. According to Marzano and Kendall, kapag magtuturo ka, start with yon. Synonym of recall, retrieve. Retrieval or remembering, retrieve, recall. Remembering, and then comprehension. Yon. Comprehension is the counterpart of understanding. Pero kay Marzano and Kendall, nagkapalit si application and analysis. Si analysis na una. Si utilization or application yung yung kasunod. Okay? Ang bago naman kay Marzano and Kendall, meron siyang metacognitive system at saka self-system. Ito yung higher order thinking skills ng mga bata. Sila-sila na lang. Okay? Perfect. Tapat na kasi. Okay? Move on na ba tayo? Okay na ba? Let's start with question number 62. In order to emphasize higher order thinking skills, anong ituturo mo? Higher order thinking skills. Kasali ito sa sa principles of learning kanina. Anong pinakamataas dyan? Ang very good. Problem solving. Nice. Number 63. On types of curriculum, which includes the course of study, syllabi, module, book, lesson plan. Mga sinusulat. Book, module, lesson plan. Letter?
Written.
Letter. Yun. Letter A. Again, kapag sinusulat, like, or nira-write, written curriculum yan siya. Pag sinabi ko namang technologies, IMs, ano tawag dyan? That is supported. Mga IMs mo, mga technology. Yun. Ito yung tinatawag nating different types of curriculum. Kaya pa? Yun. Supported. Medyo late pa na yung pasok ng mga messages na yan. Next, number 64. What should be the basic focus of modern day student learner-centered? Learner-centered learning. Ano yung focus kapag student-centered tayo? Student-centered. 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 Sila mismo yung pagawin mo. Sila
Self-learning.
mismo yung ihain mo sa mga activities. Self-learning yan siya. Student-centered or self-learning. Okay, number 64. Si Ata. Gagawin mo yan. Student learning is self-learning. Nasa gilid lang si teacher. Facilitator lang tayo. Ito si. Ang tayo sa curriculum. Bakit? Yan. On tayo sa curriculum, policies, standards, guidelines ng government, professional organization. UNESCO, ang tawag dyan, galing sa mga experts. These are what we call
Recommended.
letter D, recommended. Okay, galing sa mga eksperto, specialists. Question number 66. Yun. The human evocative approach and the 4 A's end with blank. Ano daw ang pinakahuli sa 4A? Ang pinakahuli sa 4A is letter
C.
always last. Letter C, application. Ang mauuna sa 4A, always si activity, yung mga motivation, mga review. Pagkatapos mo magpa-activity, ipa-analyze mo sa bata yung ginawa nila. Saka ka mag-abstraction, itong third. Magturo ka na. Pag may naturo ka na, saka mo na ipa-apply yung natutunan nila, yung naturo mo sa kanila. That's the last stage in the 4 A's of learning. Ito yan sila. Again, activity muna, and then i-analyze nyo yung activity ninyo, turo mo yung lesson, pa-apply mo yung natutunan nila. Yun. Next. Ginagamit din ito siya actually sa lesson plan, pero iba yung 4A sa lesson plan natin. Pero activity ba rin yung una sa lesson plan? Number 67. What validity test is concerned about the relation of test score or academic performance of college students and later on in their work? Nakadepende daw sa college grades mo yung performance mo sa trabaho. Anong tawag dyan? Anong ginagawa nila?
Predictive.
They are trying to
Letter D.
iniisip nila na kung sinong magagaling sa college, yun din yung magagaling sa workplace. Letter D. Predictive validity. Yun. Ang curricular validity naman, ito yung magtuturo ka or gagawa ka ng assessment based on the curriculum. Nasa curriculum dapat lahat, hindi yung gawa-gawa. Ang content validity naman, gagawa ka ng assessment base sa kung ano yung naturo mo. Maliban na lang sa college, kahit hindi tinuturo, pinapa-exam. Ewan ko na lang. Criterion validity naman is based on standards. Just like, hindi pala. Norm reference pala yung licensure exam. Ang criterion validity is like the National Achievement Test. Yan yung mga criterion validity. Naka-base sa iisang standard. Okay. Number 68. Pa-mute muna ako, ma'am, sir. Number 68, which belongs to a more sophisticated learning to learn. Learning to learn skills. Learning to learn skills pala. Saan dyan yung skill? Like skill.
Letter D.
Learning to learn skills. Parang learning to do, kumaga. Saan dyan? Yung gumagamit ka talaga ng skill that is visible. Letter yon. Letter B. Ang letter B kasi, it is skill-based. Magpo-process ka, gagawin mo talaga, mamimili ka. Ang asking data is learning to know. Listening and observing is learning to know. Reading with understanding is learning to know. Siya lang ang learning to learn skills. Learning to do. Okay? Sige. Punta tayo sa number 69. Microsoft company is popular when it comes to software manufacturing. Who introduced the Microsoft? Kanina yan. Sabay-sabay. Letter. Yun. Letter D. Bill Gates. Ano naman yung ginawa ni Steve Jobs? Anong ginawa ni Steve Jobs? Yung
iPhone.
Apple Apple Company, yung mga iPhones natin. O kayo, kung may iPhones. And then si Tim Berners-Lee, ano naman si Tim Berners-Lee? Siya yung gumawa ng World Wide Web or yung WWW, mga domains. Si Mark Zuckerberg, alam na alam natin, Facebook yan siya. Apple Macintosh. Yun. Okay. Number 70. An act known as the Philippine Teachers Professionalization Act to strengthen the regulation and supervision of the practice of teaching. Ang pinakamahalagang legal document ng mga guro. That is letter C. RA 7836. Yun. So marami, yun. Si Sir, ano yun? Si Sir Bernard. Mark, ang dami ano, Facebook, WhatsApp, ang dami nila, pati IG. Sana all. Yun. And then the other one naman is what we call itong 8980. Ito yung ECCD Act. Sa ECCD Act or Early Childhood Care and Development, yan yung pinapasok yung bata kahit 0 to 6 years old pa lang. Pwede nang pag-aralin yung mga bata. Pero hindi siya patok dito sa Pinas. Kinder agad yung bata. Question number 71. What can be done with too much TEI and less quality? Masyadong maraming college of education sa buong bansa, pero hindi maganda yung performance ng mga pinoproduce nila. Kasi nga, mabababa yung let passing rate. Anong pwedeng gawin sa kanila?
Letter B.
Pwede silang ipasara. Kung kayo, nagre-represent kayo ng mga school ninyo ngayon, tapos mababa yung average kaysa sa national passing rate, patay. Pwedeng mapasara. Pero hindi siya strict ngayon. I'm not sure why. Pero kailangan daw kasi merong warning, ganyan, warning. Pero wala pa namang napapasara. Letter A, closure of substandard TEI. Ganyan kadelikado. Hindi lang para sa inyo yung let kasi para din sa alma mater ninyo. Number 72. Among the following, which directly qualifies the teacher candidate to be registered at par with other profession? Paano tayo magiging professional? Tatawagin tayong professional kung meron na tayong o nakapasa na tayo sa yon, licensure examination. Kapag may lisensya ka na, pwede ka nang maging professional na guro. Yan yung basihan para pantay na natin yung mga lawyer, mga doktor, mga nurse, mga police, and whatnot. Letter C. Number 73. Which is true of the periodic merit exam? Asan daw dyan yung tama about merit exam ng mga teachers? Letter
C.
Letter C lang. Hindi kasali yung examination fee kasi hindi bayad ang merit exam. Ito ay libre. So, hindi binabayaran. That is libre. Siya kailangan. Ginagamit ang periodic merit exam para ma-promote ka. Pwede yung pang-promotion mo para lumaki yung sahod mo. Merit exam. Question number 74. Which is true of let passers? Andito yung totoo. Kapag nakapasa, nakatap na kayo sa licensure exam, ano yung next gagawin? Letter. Yun. Tama ba si letter D? Taking oath must
Letter
be
A.
within 1 month? Required ba na 1 month? Hindi naman required na 1 month. Ang PRC magsiset niyan. The professional oath can be taken before any professional teacher. Mamimili ka lang ba? Hindi din. Dapat sa harap ng PRC. Taking the professional oath before practicing, pwede daw. Hindi po pwede ha. Bawal mag-practice kung wala ka pang oath taking. Letter A. Bago ka mag-practice, you should have taken an oath. Number 75. Can a failed examinee qualify for the position of para-teachers? Hindi ka
Yes.
nakapasa sa exam. Can you qualify for para-teacher? Yes, what? Letter? Yun. Letter
D.
D.
Letter B,
Kasi
sir.
ang para-teacher, yun. Ang para-teacher, pwede ka maging para-teacher kung yung rating mo is 70 and above the passing rate. So 70 to 74.99. Yung rating naman, hindi pwedeng below 75. Like 60, 55, hindi na pwede yan. Dapat above 70. Okay? Okay. Galing naman ito siya sa RA 9293. Naalala niyo pa si RA 7836, yung pinaka-importanteng legal document sa mga guro? It was amended. Kasi nga may mga dinagdag, may mga na binago. Isa sa mga dinagdag is yung mga para teachers. Kahit hindi nakapasa, pwede silang magturo as para teachers. Pero I think ang para teachers, ano lang sila? Minimum wage. Hindi monthly yung ano nila, sahuran. That is RA 9293. Okay, pwede na mag-move on?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's start with number 76. Is it professional for a teacher to receive gifts? Pwede ba makareceive ng gifts from the students at saka parents? Letter B. Maling mali. Letter B. No. Especially if done in exchange of requested concessions. May kapalit. Now, isa pang tanong, pwede ka bang mag-receive ng gifts? Pwede, hindi. Pwede naman. Ang problem lang kasi sa mga choices, letter D. Actually, pwede si yes, in season. Pero wag yung out of season. Pwede kang mag-receive in season. Ano yung mga seasons na yun? Teacher's Day, yung mga Valentine's Day, birthday mo, mga in season yan. Pwede silang magbigay ng gift sa'yo. Pero pag out of season, that is questionable. Okay? Yun, mga program like Teacher's Day. In-season programs yan. Pwede naman, pero ang pinakatamang sagot dito is B. Secret lang. Oy, galawan lang. Number 77. What is the overall stream for education, growth, and fulfillment in the teaching profession? Education, growth, continuous growth, that is
Lifelong career.
lifelong
Basta pa.
career. Hindi humihinto because always, once a teacher, always a learner. We always learn and learn. Pag sinabi naman natin in-service, ito yung nagtuturo na tayo. Ang pre-service, ito yung mga PST tayo or mga practice teachers. Undergraduate pa tayo niyan. Pero kung na-hire ka na, inshallah, puhon, in-service na tawag. Verse 78. Under RA 7722 or Higher Education Act of 1994, which agency has direct supervision and management of teacher education institutions or TEI? Sino nag-handle sa mga college? Letter, yun. And nag-handle sa mga TEI or College of Educations, si CHED, Commission on Higher Education. Sino naman nag-handle sa basic education like elementary and high school? Kanino yan?
DepEd.
Under D, DepEd. Basic
DepEd.
education. Okay, nice. DepEd. Very good. And now let's move on to the next part, 79. From the Constitution, what is the condition for allowing students to be taught religion? Diba? Kung ma-remember nyo nung elementary tayo, bago tayo makauwi, meron pang pastor na papasok. Magwawali. Pwede silang magturo. Pero ano yung kondisyon? Bayad ba sila? Binabayaran ba sila? Hindi sila binabayaran. Hindi din pwede out of school hours. Ang binibigay sa mga religious teachers yung mga 30 minutes before the time. Yung mga ganun. So, hindi pwedeng outside. Wala ding extra pay for teachers sa atin. Wala tayong ganyan. Next is upon written permission, magsusulat or mag-i-email sila sa mga principal natin bago sila papapasukin sa eskwelahan at mag-conduct ng mga religious teaching.
Sir?
Okay? Yes po.
Ay, wait lang po. Clarification lang po. Hindi ba po, parents yun?
Consent ang sinasabi mo, yung consent
Ay, yung,
ng
okay. Thank you very
parent
much.
yung galing. Afwan ba mo? So that is, kailangan din ng consent ng parents. Dito, magsusulat muna si, ano yan? Magsusulat muna si religious teacher ha. Ay, ang teacher kasi nakalagay dito. Hindi si teacher tayo na teacher ha. Yung religious teacher yung magsusulat. Magsusulat sila ng letter na magkakandak sila ng religious studies. Tapos, yun, papasok na sila. Mapupunta sila sa mga teachers para mag-ask ng help. Doon na papasok yung consent. Yun. Pero unang-una, magkakaroon muna ng permission, written permission sa principal. Number 80. What right is given to private universities to require an entrance test for admission of students? May mga colleges, may mga universities, walang entrance exam. Meron din naman may entrance exam. Bakit mabago-bago? Nga naman naman. Dahil meron silang academic freedom. Lalo na yung tinatawag natin mga mga sikat na eskwelahan. Yung maraming pumapasok. Kailangan i-filter out kasi baka mag-overcrowd. Hindi po pwede yon. Pwede silang mag-require ng admission test. Pero yung mga colleges, usually ng mga private colleges, hindi na nagpapa-entrance test kasi nga inaabol nila yung enrollment sometimes. Pero meron ding mga colleges or private colleges na meron ding admission test. So iba-iba. That's because of academic freedom. Now, question 81. The provision of academic freedom is applicable sa mga kanino nga yun?
Colleges.
College
Letter,
university.
yun, letter A pa din. Sa mga colleges and universities. Meron tayong freedom as DepEd teachers, pero hindi kasing lawak ng freedom ng mga colleges. Imagine, ang mga professor natin, kung gusto nilang pumasok, papasok sila. Kung ayaw. Ganyan lang. As a DepEd, pasok ka talaga. Di ba? Ganun lang. Kahit ka. Yan, ma'am. Ako yung pinapatahimik mo. Sino yan? Ma'am, kaya pa, ma'am? Ma'am, sino yun? Naka-mute. Ma'am Cloudy. Mute mo na kami. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Kinabahan ako, ma'am. Number 80. According to 1987, Article 14. This is based on education. Ang article na to. Section 5, nakalagay doon, academic freedom shall be enjoyed in all institutions of higher learning. Colleges. Okay lang, Ma'am Cloudy. Number 82. On which policy is RA 4670 known as the Magna Carta for Public School Teachers focused? RA 4670. Ang iba, yon. Letter
B.
Letter, yun. Ang ating yun. Ang RA 4670, ito yung medyo nakakalito. It should promote and improve the socio-economic status of public school teachers. Kasi ang RA 4670 or Magna Carta for Public School Teachers, it talks about our rights as a teacher. Public school teacher pala. Magkaiba si Magna Carta at saka si Code of Ethics. Medyo nakakalito yan sila. Ang Magna Carta, again, it talks about your rights. The right to tenure, right mo bilang guro, mag-create ng rally kung gusto mo. Pwede din, as a guro, ano yung mga leave mo, mga leave benefits, mga maternity leave, yung mga ganon. Ano yung mga additional cost, ano yung mga benefits mo as a teacher, rights, yan siya. Si Code of Ethics, it talks about your behavior as a teacher. Behavior, si Code of Ethics. Ano yung pwede at saka hindi mo pwedeng gawin? Pwede ba ka mag-inom? Pwede ba ka ma-fall in love sa iyong estudyante? So mga do's and don'ts si Code of Ethics. Okay? Yun. Nadali mo, Ma'am Krisa. Do's and don'ts natin. Magna Carta. O ito, balik tayo sa Magna Carta. Teacher Michael has been teaching for 7 straight years and therefore qualifies for a study leave with pay for 1 year. Should he pursue it? How much is he entitled to receive? Kung magsa-study leave ka, according to our Magna Carta na nakakaluma na, ilang persyento yung makukuha mong salary? Yan, 60% of your monthly salary. Kahit hindi ka na nagtatrabaho, naka-study leave ka, meron ka pa rin sweldong tinatanggap. For 1 year. Yan yung problem. Kasi yung nasa Magna Carta, pwede ka lang mag-study leave for 1 year. Ang problema lang, may master's degree ba na 1 year? May master's degree ba? May PhD ba na 1 year? Di ba? Mahirap. Luma na kasi yung ano natin, yung Magna Carta natin. I-amend lang natin. Kaya natin yan. 60% of monthly salary. Sa ibang bansa meron. Mga tig 1 year, ma'am, na makaya lang. Para siyang diploma type. Ay, hindi sa diploma type. Pero diploma yung style nila. Parang gano'n. Okay. Wala ding research usually kung ganyan. Punta tayo sa number 8. Ito, sorry. Magna Carta Section 24. Ito yung study leave natin. Less than 1 year lang, may 60% of monthly allowance, monthly salary. Okay. So marami tayong sections dyan. Let's try to discuss that one later. Next, item na naman tayo. What is concrete proof that teacher as a public servant and or official has violated RA 6713? Anong ginawa mo kung na-violate mo yung RA 6713? Ang ginawa mo ay demonstrate modest living kasi daw dapat. So ano yung violation nito? Meron kang extravagant and instantaneous wealth. Bigla kang yumaman dahil sa kapa. Bawal din yon. Bumili ka agad ng ganito, ng kwintas, ng alahas, lahat. Bawal din yon sa mga public servant. Kagaya ng mga teacher. Ano? Extravagance and instantaneous wealth. Ang pinaproblemahan ko lang, bakit sa mga politiko pwede extravagant yung pamumuhay nila. Anyway, number 65, number 85, what program aims to reduce the gap between growth and social status and education for deserving students? Letter. Through investment. Wag naman. Letter. Ito, education for deserving students. Hindi kayang mag-aral ng bata, pero pwede siyang paaralin ng gobyerno. Anong tawag dyan sa ganyang program? Binibigyan ng scholarship, binibigyan ng stipends, binibigyan ng voucher. Tawag dyan is ESCS, letter C. Education Service Contract Scheme. This is under RA 6728 or RA 8545. Tama ba? Ang nakalagay kasi doon, yung e-GASPE natin, if you have heard about e-GASPE or Government Assistance for Student and Teachers in Private Education. Isa doon na gusto ng GASPE is, kasi masyadong maraming tao, maraming estudyante sa public school. So why not divert those students, pa-enroll natin sila sa private school. Sa ganon, hindi congested ang public school, matutuwa pa yung private sectors natin. Yan yung subsidy na binibigay, voucher na binibigay. Isa doon sa mga program na yon under GASPE or RA 6728 is ESCS. Okay? Kahit hindi mo kaya mag-aral, bibigyan ka ng suporta ng gobyerno. Number 86. Which philosophy proclaims the spiritual nature of a man? Stresses, human spirit, soul, and mind are the most important elements. Spirit, human mind. Isip-isip lang, kahit hindi mo nakikita, naniniwala ka. That is idealism.
Realism.
Now, ano nga yung kabaliktaran ng idealism? Realism. Sinabi. Yun, values. Yun, values, spirit, mind. Yung mga ganyan, idealistic approach. Pag sinabi ko naman, back to basic, science, math, English, 3 hours. That is essentialism. Pag sinabi ko naman, great books, humanities.
Perennialism.
Yun na ba? Yeah. That is perennial or perennialism. Mahirap i-type, mahaba. Sige, perennialism. Or pwedeng peren na lang. Yun, kay Ma'am Ninya. That is perennialism. Okay. Question number 87. In selecting code of conduct, what would be a behaviorist teacher impart to learners? Kung behaviorist ka na teacher, anong pwede mong gawin? Alam na natin yung behaviorism, di ba?
Letter C.
Letter? Behaviorism is the man is shaped by his or her environment. So kailangan nila ng mga model, mga magaganda, magagaling na mga tao. Okay, that is one exemplified by great men and women. They need examples or models. Question number. Sorry. Ang one based on science is what we call naturalism or naturalist. Ano naman yung one drawn from history? Kanino nga yung history? Kaninong ism yan? Kapag history, perennialism. Religion. Kanito yung religion? Kapag religion naman,
Idealist.
spirit, religion, idealistic. Okay? Question. Yun, idealist, ideal. Number 88. Which of the following processes usually comes first in developing curriculum? Ano yung unang gawin nga? OCLE. OCLE. Anong pinakauna sa OCLE? That is, letter. Ang ingay-ingay ko sa room. Letter D, identifying goals and objectives. D. Anong susunod sa OCLE? Objectives, tapos? Letter?
Content.
A.
Content.
Content. Pagkatapos sa content,
Learning.
learning and
Learning.
then evaluation. Ay,
Evaluation.
sorry. Learning experiences pala. Sorry. And then evaluation.
Evaluation.
OCLE. The curriculum design. Nice. Number 89. What comprises? Ito, bumalik. Spiral approach. Ano ang word na hahanapin para makumpleto yung spiral? Blank approach. That is progression. Spiral progression approach. Progress na lang yung iba. Pro. Yun, na ba? Work smarter. Di ba? Not harder. Nice. Number 90. To a realist, which statement is least acceptable? Kung ikaw ay isang realist, ano yung hindi mo sinusunod, hindi mo pinapaniwalaan? Letter? Isa kang realist. Ano yung ayaw mo paniwalaan? Letter B. Take note of this. Letter B. Bakit naging letter B? Knowledge is independent of experiences daw. Ibig sabihin, ang knowledge mo daw, walang pakialam sa experiences. Knowledge alone is real. Which is not true for realist. Kasi nga, di ba, according to realist, knowledge or experience, pala, yun yung sa kanya, independent of the mind. Yun yung mga realistic approach. Ayaw niya yung knowledge na magkahiwalay sa experience. So, kung meron ka nito, meron ka ding ginagawang reality-based actions or skills. Okay lang po ba yung yung voice ko or medyo choppy po ba?
A bit lagi lang.
Okay lang po, sir. Okay lang po.
Okay lang. Oh, sige, kasi may nada. Ito naman, si knowledge comes primarily through the senses. Ito yung empiricist, kailangan ng sense-based learning. Meron naman tayong tinatawag na education must prepare man for the realities of life. Practical learning. Dapat magagamit ng mga bata sa totoong buhay. Pra. Ano nga yung pra? Pragmatism. Real life. Natural phenomena. From the word natural, sila naman yung natural.
Naturalism.
Therefore, ibig sabihin lang nito, ang empiricist, pragmatist, naturalist, sila yung mga anak ni realism. Okay? Nagkakaiba lang sila sa keyword, kumbaga. Shortcut na. Na-2. Sige, muna tayo sa number 91. Ito yung kay realism o baliktad. Reality is independent of the mind. Ang nakalagay kanina is knowledge or mind is independent of the experience. Binaliktad. NATO pala. Number 91. What fallacy is committed by this argument? Sir, I am a scholar. I want to continue my studies. Please give me a high grade. Nagmamakaawa kahit hindi deserve. Hindi niya deserve. Letter? Sir, wag mo kong bagsak. Isa akong scholar ng bayan. Letter, please. Kapag ad baculum, ang ad baculum is appeal to force. Sir, Wag mo akong ibabagsak. Kung ibabagsak mo ako, babantayan kita sa may kanto, bububugin kita. Appeal to force. Ad hominem, appeal to person. Sir, wag mo akong bagsakin. Para ka namang gwapo. Bakit ka mababagsak? Ang pangit-pangit mo, sir. Wag naman ganon. Letter C, appeal to, ano yun? Ano ang meaning ng C? Appeal, hindi ko makita. Appeal to emotion. Sir, please, wag mo akong bagsakin. Letter D naman is ad populum, appeal to popular. Sir, wag mo akong bagsakin. Pinasang mo nga yung iba kong mga kaklase. Popular opinion. Letter C, messy recordia. Messy. You're already destroyed. And ito pala ang meaning nila. Ad misericordia. Fallacy. Question, misery. Parang ano ka na ba? Number 92. What technology? Ang ginagawa mo akong joke, Sir June? What technology integration is achieved by my teacher, Nina, who create rich learning environment in which students regularly engage in activities that would have been impossible without technology. Lagi ko nababasa. Sige lang. There's always room for learning. Letter, hindi ka na pwedeng magklase kung brownout. Hindi ka pwedeng magklase kung walang PLDT. Wala lahat. That is very dependent to technology. That is transformation. That is the final. Ito yung pinakahuling level ng technology integration matrix. Meron tayong mga levels ito. You don't have to read this, ha? Itong mga maliliit na to, huwag mo nang basahin yan. Again, study smart lang tayo, huwag study hard. Ito lang yung hahanapin natin, keywords. Yan. Pag sinabing entry level, gumagamit ka lang ng curriculum, ng PPT to deliver the curriculum. Ganyan lang ang entry. Si teacher lang mismo yung gumagamit. Ang adoption, pinapagamit muna ng technology si student, pero conventional and procedural. Step by step. Tinuturuan mo muna yung mga estudyante. May guidance pa ba? Ang adaptation naman, conventional and independent. Sila-sila na yung gumagamit ng computer, ng technology sa classroom. Next is infusion. Ito lang. Ang keyword sa infusion is ang word na throughout. Throughout the day, throughout the subject, throughout the curriculum. Basta may throughout, infusion yan. Transformation naman is unconventional. Ibig sabihin, hindi siya traditional. Hindi siya traditional. It is, makabago na siya, dating ng transformation. So kung wala kang internet, wala kang technology, hindi gagana si transformative level. Okay, yan yung tinatawag nating level sa levels. Don't forget about this. This is what we call, kung meron tayong TPAC kanina, ito naman yung TIM, Technology Integration Matrix. Meron tayong levels sa taas, meron tayong characteristics sa baba. Hindi lang sa mabasa. Ito yung characteristics. Okay. Now, sa characteristics, keyword lang din ng labanan. Pag sinabing active, of course, may active ang keyword. Pag collaborative, of course, ang keyword collaborate. Work with others. Constructive, from the word construct, o build. Prior knowledge. Next naman is authentic, world beyond or real life. Authentic kasi. Totohanan. Ang goal-directed naman is meta-cog. Pwede kumpletuhin mo na lang, Sir Deo. Meta-cognitive naman is thinking about thinking lang yan siya. Okay? Now, in that case, kapag goal-directed ka, you always think about thinking. Okay, meron din tayo tinatawag na SPME. Okay? SPME. Set goals. You can write it down kung meron kayong notes. Pero recorded na naman. Set, plan, monitor, evaluate. Again, so, set, plan, monitor, and evaluate. Okay? Yan yung characteristics. Nasa taas yung levels. Okay? Pwede na mag-move on? Pwede na mag-move on, Sir Deo.
Yes po, sir.
Okay, muna tayo sa next. Number 93. Teacher Peter is a constructivist teacher who allows his students to use technology tools to build understanding rather than simply information. Mga Bisaya na yung matanan, Dre? Or dili tanan? This level of technology integration is blank. Allowing student to use technology tools. Sila na gumagamit. That is, ako. Kailan ka kasama tayo si Sir. Later, sila na yung gumagamit. Wala na silang pag-alam. Wala na pakialam yung teacher. Kaunting guidance na lang. O, Bisaya po, server. Daghan mo na yung mga distract na rin. Letter D. Adaptation. Ilocano si Sir Jun. Sige lang, Sir. Letter D, adaptation. Pero pag sinabi kong ang mga bata hindi pwedeng gumamit, dapat nandyan si teacher sa gilid.
Adoption.
A Muslim. Assalamualaikum, Sir. That is adoption. Pero pag sinabi naman hindi ka pwedeng magklase kung walang internet, kung walang kuryente.
Transformation.
Transformation. Letter D. Ilocano, naghana din natin. Number 94. The following group of variables refers to the cognitive ability of the learner except. Cognitive ability refers to cognitive ability except.
Manual
Asan daw dyan yung except? Hindi cognitive ability.
Manual dexterity.
Asa na si Sir?
Wala si Sir. Transformation.
Out na naman.
Transformation yan, di ba? Yung kapag
Yes, nag-blackout si Sir eh. Transformation.
transformation, wala si Sir. Paano kung pinagamit tayo ng chatbox? Ang galing ng teacher natin, no? Hindi nakaka-tawa ng tawa.
Super ang galing niya, grabe.
Top ba yun si Sir?
2019 top 1.
Tapwa.
Same siya sa kahapon. Tapon din, kahapon.
Ayun kahapon, tapon. Oh, ang galing.
Pareho Bisaya.
Oo, tapuan sila dalawa.
Alam, Bisaya na tayo.
Kasi reviewer nila ako eh.
Okay.
Sir, transformation.
Nasigat? Transformation.
Wala dyan,
Ayun naman
sir.
yung
Transformation yung
pinag-uusapan
sagot.
ninyo.
Nawala po kayo.
Nawala pala. Sorry. Pasensya na po. Wala tayo sa number 90 na yan. Kanina na 93. Tapos na tayo sa 93 ba? Transformation ang sagot kung dependent tayo sa technology. Walang klase, walang pasok kung walang technology. Pag ang keyword naman is throughout the day, throughout the curriculum, ang sagot? Letter yun. Infusion. Question number. Yun, dito tayo sa number 94. Ano nga dito yung cognitive ability except? Hindi part ng cognitive ability. Letter
D.
Manual
Letter
dexterity.
D. Manual dexterity. Ano ibig sabihin ng manual dexterity? It is skill-based. Anong skill? Hand skills. Fine motor skills. So it is not cognitive. It is psychomotor. Psychomotor. Number 95. Number 95. I like to show a close representation of the size and shapes of the Earth and its location in the entire solar system. What is the best instructional aid? Gusto mo magpakita ng representation. Gusto mo magpakita ng representation, gamitin mo ang
Models.
Letter B, models. Pag sinabi kasi nating model, ito yung mga bagay na ginagamit natin sa loob ng classroom na pinalaki or pinaliit na bagay. For example, mga planet. Di mo pwede ilagay yung doon yung doon yung mga planets sa loob ng classroom. So mag-model ka na lang, paliitin mo sila. That's model. Na ano naman yung picture? Pag sinabing picture, these are images. Yun. Ang film naman, ito yung tinatawag nating motion picture. Moving pictures. Films. Ang realia naman, ito yung mga from the word real. Kung magtuturo ka about apple, maglagay ka ng apple, totoong apple. Realia tawag dyan. Kung gusto mong magturo na paano magbukbok ng martilyo, gamit ka talaga ng martilyo. Realia tawag doon. Real talaga. Okay? Question number 96. One interesting visual is Edgar Dale's cone of experience. Visualizing the cone, which represents his theory on the importance of experiences. Question, what are the bottom and at the top of the cone? Edgar Dale daw. Ano yung nasa pinakababa at the bottom? Pinakatuktok.
Letter C.
Letter? Yun. Letter A. Tingnan natin. Ano ba yung Edgar Dale's cone of experience? Pag sinabi yung cone of experience, teka lang, pointer pa pala. Pen. You always start with concrete and you end up with abstract. Katulad ng learning natin. Nung bata pa tayo, nung elementary, nung preschool pa tayo, kinder, low or concrete yung experiences. Meaning direct. Nilalaruan natin, nakipaglaro tayo, naipag-usap tayo, nagtatayaan tayo, we hold things, we grasp things, naamoy natin, lahat ng senses natin activated. That's elementary or preschool or kinder. Pero nung tumatagal, lalong nagiging actual experience talaga. Pero nung tumatagal na, lalong mas nagiging abstract. Ibig sabihin, hindi na kailangan ng kamay, ng pang-amoy, wala nang ganon. Utak-utak na lang. Kagaya sa college. Anong ginagawa? Iiwanan lang kayo ng module. Magko-quiz na tayo tomorrow. Yan lang yung abstract. Text, verbal na lang. Isip-isip na lang kasi masagwa naman kung hanggang college naglalaro pa rin kayo. Wag naman gano'n. Okay? That is concrete to abstract or direct purposeful experience hanggang verbal symbol. Basa-basa na lang. Texts. Or di kaya oral. Okay? That is the Edgar Dale's cone of experience. From concrete, direct experiences, hanggang abstract, isip-isip na lang. Utak-utak. Number 97, according to NAJO's acronym, PPPF yan siya, PPPF. What is important to follow up in the proper use of instructional materials? Paano mo ma-check or paano mo ma-follow up kung tama yung paggamit mo ng materials? Kapag
Lesson.
yun, kapag suitable siya sa lesson mo. Okay, letter B. 97, letter B. Yan yun siya. Prepare yourself, prepare your students, present the materials, and do some follow-up. Dapat nagkakamatch kasi si materials at saka yung yung instruction mo, the lesson. Number 90, number 98. What is the framework for assigning students to create their own journal? Own journal daw. Anong nangyayari if they create their own journals? That's what we call
Independent.
letter A. Independent practice. Letter A yan. A. Okay, question number. Independent or from the word own. Sila mismo yung gumagawa. Independent work yan siya. Number 99. What role does the teacher assume as a sage on the stage? Kung ikaw bilang guro, yung role mo is sage on the stage, ibig sabihin, ano?
Dispenser.
It means
Facilitator.
you are the dispenser of knowledge. Ano Anong kaibahan ni stage on the stage versus guide
Yun,
on
99
the
rin.
side? Yun. Meron tayong guide on the side. Pag sinabing guide on the side, facilitator ka lang. Pag sinabing sage on the stage, ikaw ang nagpapagitna. Ikaw lahat, sa'yo lahat palagi yung spotlight. Dispenser ka ng knowledge. Oh, bulok ka na student. Itong knowledge. Atik lang. Kapag dispenser of
Atik
knowledge ka, ikaw palagi yung nagsasalita. Okay? Ikaw palagi yung dispenser of knowledge. One way lang, parang gano'n. Pero again, bawal yung, di ba, meron tayong tinatawag na sage on the stage or from sage on the stage to guide on the side. Guide na lang tayo sa gilid. Huwag na tayo sa spotlight talaga. Okay, pakimute muna ng microphones natin. Kaya pa? Sige, number. Okay na tayo dito? Makamove on na ba?
Move on na po.
Okay na? Okay na. Yun, nice. Number 100, gawin na lang. In the implementation of the curriculum at the classroom level, ineffective strategies are called red. Which of the following belongs to the red flag? Ito, alam na alam nyo paano maghanap ng red flag. Pero kahit may red flag, minamahal pa din. Gaba. Atik lang. Letter, saan dyan yung mga red flag? Yun, hindi pwede yan ha. Dapat kung may red flag, bantayan yan, teacher. Letter D. Overemphasis on drill and practice. Parang add one out lang sa ano? Add one out. Kasi si ABC, positive use. Yan sila. Positive strategies. Pag sinabing overemphasis, yun na lang palagi yung ginagamit mo. Meron kang violate na principle. Principle of variety. Dapat kasi iba-iba, hindi iisa. Nasobraan. Sobraan ng gamit. Okay, question number 101. A group activity wherein one group representative present the output to the bigger group rather than individual pupils presenting the output is known as. What do you call that grouping or group activity? Presenting. Presenting. Ano ibig sabihin ng presenting? In other words, Yun. If you present, you report. Present, report. Ang consensus decision, ito yung bago kayo mag-present, mag-consensus muna kayo kung sino yung ipapa-report ninyo. Consensus decision of the majority. Ang jury trial at saka agenda, hindi naman yan mga classroom-based. Pwedeng simulation, pero they themselves are not part of classroom group activities. Composite report. Composite ba? Compact. Tapos isahan na lang yung mag-present. Number 102. Wants to teach his pupils the technique on reading for information. Which technique should he use? Reading for information. The only applicable answer here is, of course, nag-iisa. Letter D. SQ3R. Kung gusto mong turuan yung mga bata mo paano maghanap ng information sa binabasa nila, SQ3R yung gawin mo. First, they do the survey. Pag-aralan nila kung ano yung binabasa nila. Mga ganyan. Bakit nila babasahin? Next is to ask question. Meron dapat silang questions na dapat masagot nila after they read it. After that, mag-read na sila. Then mag-recite sila. And the last one is when they review. Ano yan? Review. Malit yung script. Sige. Dito naman, si test structure, it is not part of reading. It is part of assessment. Si prior knowledge, it's not part of reading, it's part of reviewing. Si story map, it's not about reading for information, but identifying the elements of a story. Elements ang hinahanap, hindi information sa isang storya. Number 103. In acquiring language competence, what is the process of attaching meaning? Meaning.
Semantics.
Letter? Yun, letter C. Semantics. Pang phonology naman, from phonemes, study of sound. Ang syntax naman is how you arrange words, like mga SVA, arrangement mo, asan si subject, si predicate, syntax. Yun, phonetics yung phonology. Ang morphology from the word morph, form. Paano nabuo ang isang word? History ng word, yung mga ganun. Ano yung mga components ng isang word para mabuo siya? Semantics ang sagot dito. Meaning, semantics. Yun. Semantics. Number 104. The teacher wants to check prior knowledge of his pupils about water pollution. She writes the main topic. Nagsulat siya ng main topic sa gitna. Then, she asks the pupils to provide information that can be clustered around the main topic. May mga bubbles na. Anong tawag dyan?
Semantic map.
Letter B, scanning. Dalawa lang yung pwedeng sagot dyan. Scanning or skimming. Anong pinagkaiba nila? Both of them are called rapid reading. Mabilis ang pagbabasa. Gagamitin mo si skimming kung may quiz kayo tomorrow tapos hindi ka pa nag-study. Skimming tawag na. Mabilis ang pagbabasa. Para lang makuha mo yung general or main. Yun, main idea. Or another keyword is overview. Overview, main idea, or general idea. Si scanning naman is specific information yung hinahanap mo like root word keywords, terminologies. That is scanning. Isang words or keywords only. Yan. Okay, that's skimming versus scanning. Okay, question number 106. Teacher Mar wants to develop in her pupils comprehension skills. What order of skills will she develop? Gusto mong turuan ang reading comprehension yung mga bata. Anong una mong ituturo? Unahin mo si? Of course, unahin si literal. Ibig sabihin ng literal, kung anong nababasa ng bata, yun lang din yung naiintindihan nila. Pero pagdating na sa number 2, parang, interpretation. Pag sinabing interpretation, yung mga bata, pwede nang maka-infer, maka-suggest, mga comment sa binabasa nila. Number 3 naman is critical evaluation. For example, ang mga bata nagbabasa ng Cinderella. Kapag critical evaluation, ang mga bata mapapaisip, bakit siya pumunta sa date ng isang prinsipe, hindi man niya kilala yon. Evaluation na yan. Pero hindi pa ganyang level ng mga bata. Para nag-evaluate na sila kung tama or mali ba yung desisyon ng mga characters. Evaluation yan. Ang integrate naman, this is the highest reading comprehension level. Integrate mo na kung ano yung natutunan mo sa pagbabasa into real life. Another word for integration is application. Hindi lang kasi siya dapat dedicated sa books. Dapat ilabas nila sa real life. Or pwede nyo tingnan yung word na, yun, liki. Liki. Or lisi. Or lisay. Pag liki or lisi, that's literal interpretation, interpretative and critical evaluation, and then integration. Yan yung pagpapasunod ng comprehension skills. Liki or lisi. Okay? Next. Number 107. Teacher Ann would like to compare and contrast. Anong gagawin mo? Anong gagamitin mo? Kung compare and contrast, you have to use
Venn
diagram. Kung gusto mo naman ma-check ang prior knowledge ng mga bata, pwede mong gamitin ang
KWL.
KWL chart. Review and retention. Ano naman yung gagamitin mo if you want to see the cause and effect? Ano yung sani? Ano yung bunga? Fishbowl. Ano naman yung tree diagram ba yun? Fishbowl diagram, cause and effect. Tree diagram if you want to look for the if you want to look for the relationship. Like family tree, di ba? Malalaman mo kung sinong mama, sinong anak, sinong papa. tree diagram. It shows relationship. Yun. Number 107, 108. Among models of reading strategies, what did student Lina adopt when she read back and forth, attending to both what is in her mind and what's on the page? What's in her mind and what's on the page? Back and forth. Another keyword dito is back and forth. Sorry. Back and forth. So from learner to material, material to learner, that's what we call interactive model. Pero, pag sinabi ko namang galing sa material, papunta sa learner, galing sa material, sa baba, papunta sa learner, anong tawag dyan? Bottom up. Kung galing naman sa learner, papunta sa material, top down model. So, ganun lang siya. Kapag interactive naman, simultaneous. Top down, bottom up, top down, bottom up. Parang ganyan. Ang example ng interactive is pag nagsa-cellphone ka. Pag nagsa-cellphone yung bata, di ba, usually, pag nababasa na yun, meron siyang galing sa kanya mismo yung pagbabasa. Meron ding galing sa cellphone yung information magpupunta sa kanya. So, nagiging simultaneous pag gumagamit ng cellphone. Ang top-down naman is, pag nagbabasa lang yung bata ng libro, siya parati yung nagbibigay ng meaning. Maliban lang kung merong high comprehension. And then, ang bottom-up naman, for example, gumamit ka ng nagpabasa ka sa blackboard. Kung magpapabasa ka sa blackboard, of course, makakabasa lang ang mga estudyante kung may mga words sa blackboard. So, galing sa blackboard, papunta sa mga bata. That is bottom up. From the material to the learner. Okay? Number 109. What is the first step in Google's reading skills? Anong pinakauna? Kapag nakita lang ng bata, alam niya na paano basahin. Letter. Yun. Mga basic sight words, mga words na nakikita niya, o di kaya mga symbols na nakikita niya, kahit hindi niya alam paano, anong spelling nun, alam niya pa rin paano basahin. That is basic sight words. Followed by phonetic analysis. Alam na nila mag-sound out ng mga letters. And then, they can now have an advanced vocabulary for reading. Ang pinakamataas sa ladder is use of dictionary. Actually, mas mataas pa yung almanac. Pero they have almost similar retention level naman. Use of dictionary yung pinaka advanced. Okay? Question number 110. Which best describes self-directed learning? Self-directed kapag
Discover their own answer.
they try to discover their own answers to their own problem, or they try to discover answers to certain problem. Again, sinong nagdi-discover dito? Ang mga estudyante, hindi si teacher. That's why tinatawag siya na self-directed learning. Yun, learners ang nagdi-discover. Question number 111. I was satisfied of the student's yes for an answer. And so I asked the student to explain why. Diba? Parang ganon. Sumagot yung bata, yes. Pero nakulangan ka. Yes, but why? Anong ginawa mo kung nag-ask ka about why? Tawag dyan, may sagot pero kulang. That is probing. Pero kung walang sagot ang bata, anong gagawin mo? That's what we call prompting. Yun, prompt. Ang prompting kasi, pagbibigyan siya ng clue. Nagbigay ka ng clue. Kung wala talagang sagot ang bata. Again, ang probing, may sagot ang bata, pero kulang. Ang prompting, walang sagot ang bata. Tumayo lang. Nakatingin sa'yo. Sasabihin mo agad, do you have anything else to, hindi man diyan. Parang, can you still remember your activity? Walang sagot. Tapos, sasabihan mo naman yung bata, can you still remember our game? It starts with, pagbibigay ka ng clue. That's prompting. Basta makasagot, makasalita yung bata. Ang mali kasi sa mga teachers ngayon, kapag yung bata ayaw magsalita, okay, upo. Which is not a good practice. Para asa po ng eskwelahan. Di ba? Para saan ang eskwelahan? Kung yung mga bata ayaw pasalitain. Use prompting. Kasi magsasalita at magsasalita yung bata. Okay? Probing kung may sagot pero kulang. prompting kung wala sagot ang bata. Tama? Tama yan. Okay. 112. The assessment prior to instruction. Assessment before the instruction, except. True, sinabi mo pa siya. Tama yan, Sir John. Assessment prior to instruction daw, except. Saan dyan yung hindi ginagawa before ang instruction? Assessment prior. Pag sinabing prior, that is before. Bago. Bago pa ang instruction. Hindi mo pwedeng gawin of course, hindi ka makaka-observe kung wala ka pang ginawang instruction. Ang observation, ginagawa siya during instruction. Ang question naman, pwede mo yung gawin before the instruction. Parang ano ba? Parang motivational question sa mga bata. Ang KWL technique naman, ano nga yung K sa KWL chart? K is
No.
what they know. So, i-ask mo yung mga bata, ano yung alam nila bago ka magsimula ng lesson. Ang W naman, what they want to know. Ano yung gusto mong malaman? Ano yung alam mo? Ano yung gusto mong malaman? At saka si L naman, gagawin mo to kapag tapos na yung lesson. Learn. What did you learn? Ano yung gusto mong malaman? K? Ano yung ano yung alam mo? K? Ano yung gusto mong malaman? Want? Ano yung nalaman mo after the lesson or learn? Si pre-test naman, from the word pre, of course, before talaga yan gagawin. Pre-test. Okay? Know, want, learn. Si KWL. Letter A yung tamang sagot. Number 113. What is the legal basis of shared governance in basic education? Shared governance. Ang tawag din sa kanya is governance of basic education.
9155.
Letter? Dahil din sa kanya na tinawag na DepEd ang DepEd ngayon. That is RA
9155.
9155. Letter B. Ano naman yung RA 10533? That is the K-12 law. Ang 7277 para sa mga PWDs. Magna Carta for Disabled Person. Ang 7722, ano itong 7722? Yan. This is for the Commission on Higher Education or CHED. Ang 9155, dito ginawa si DepEd or transform from DEX to DepEd. That is 9155. Okay. Question number 114. This law is the current basis for all other laws on education. All other laws on education. Lahat ng batas dapat sumunod dito. That is the highest law of the land, the 1987 Constitution. Letter B. Pag sinabi ko naman it talks about the rights of the teachers. Ano yon? Rights.
Magna Carta.
Letter D, Magna Carta. Pag sinabing do's and don'ts, behavior,
Code of ethics.
Code of Ethics. Do's and don'ts. Number 115. What characteristic is significant to the formulation of teachers' professional development plan? Significant daw. Alin dyan yung significant? Kung gagawa ka ng professional development plan or yung IPPD. IPPD ba tawag doon? Attend ka ng mga seminar, ng mga CPD seminar, mga ganon. Letter? Ang significant lang dito is number 1, yun, number 1, 2, and 3. Kasi nga, pag sinabing participative, of course, if you want to develop your professionally, you need to participate. Constructive naman, kasi nga, development, construction, building talaga yan. Innovative, and that is also a form of development. You innovate things, you develop new things. Pag sinabing routine planning, ito yung nagpaplano ka based on mga nakasanayan mo na. So, hindi ka nagde-develop. Kung ano yung routine mo, yun pa rin yung pinagpaplanuhan mo. That is not a developmental plan. Routine. One routine. Okay. Question number Okay, mamayan? Okay, number 115. 116 pala, sorry. Which is in accordance with the with-itness principle. Pag may with-itness principle, anong ibig sabihin? C, letter?
Here.
Anong letter BB? Letter B. Teacher is fully aware of what is happening in the classroom. Kahit wala ka sa loob ng classroom, alam mo anong nangyayari. Dahil nga, meron kang president. Di ba? Eyes on the back yan siya. Meron ka dapat intel. May intelligence ka dapat sa loob ng classroom para alam mo sino nag-aaway, sino maingay, yung mga ganun. Again, galit na. Nagigigil na sa keyboard. Sige, number. Yun, eto pala. Let's discuss this one. Ito yung mga tinatawag nating good classroom techniques. Kasali doon si with-itness. Nasa good classroom techniques, number 1 na good classroom technique is organized fashion. Ito yung kabaliktaran ni flip-flop. Alam naman natin si flip-flop, ano? Pag flip-flop, example niyan is, okay, let's, everyone please stand. And let's lead a prayer. Don't, pick up pieces pa muna pala. Okay, let's check the attendance pa pala. Yan yung flip-flop, hindi mo alam yung direction mo. Ang smoothness naman, flow. Smooth flow of your discussion. Organized ba? Alam mo yung plano mo. Ang overlapping naman is actually a good thing. Ibig sabihin ng overlapping, for example, nasa loob ka ng classroom, uupo ka sa teacher's table. Habang nag-check ka ng attendance, walang nag-iingay sa mga bata. Bakit? Because you are also monitoring their behavior. Multitasking tawag dyan or overlapping. Nag-check ka ng attendance, pero minamanage mo pa din yung classroom mo. Overlapping. Ang with-itness naman, again, kahit wala ka sa loob ng classroom, alam mo ano ang nangyayari. Having eyes at the back of the head. Next is momentum. Parang physics lang, ano? Sa momentum naman, ito lang yung force and flow of the lesson. Hindi masyadong mabilis. Hindi din masyadong mabagal. May magandang momentum. So yan yung mga good classroom techniques. Ina-avoid kasi natin yung tinatawag nating jerkiness. Example, si flip-flop. Jerkiness tawag kay flip-flop. Okay? Gets na? Pwede naman move on? Yun. Sige, kain muna kayo. Huwag niyong pagutumin yung sarili niyo. Wala din namang magtatanong sa inyo kung kumain na kayo. Atik lang. Now, in that case, go. Go classroom techniques. Yun yan na. Basta tayo, mag-move on na tayo dyan. Sorry. Naninood. Number 117, how is the ripple effect illustrating in the class of teacher? Ella, ano ibig sabihin ng ripple effect? Yun, nag-escalate. Misbehavior. Nag-escalate. Kain ka na self-love na naman. Yun. Ito, ibamalik ito kanina. Ano? Sige lang. Number 118, the teacher who lacks clear direction and sequence of activities by going from one activity, balik na naman sa isa, Tawag dyan?
Flip-flopping.
Yun, tawag dyan is lip-flopping. Flip-flopping. No? Na-repeat na yun, Sir Ali Carl, yung isa yung kanina. Dalawa na yung na-repeat natin. Flip-flopping. Yun. Ito naman yung tinatawag nating jerkiness. Kung wala kang smoothness, meron kang jerkiness. Ano yung mga jerkiness? First, stimulus bounded. Ang daling ma-distract ni teacher. Diba? Ito yung mga teacher na sabihan mo lang na, ma'am, kumusta yung pamilya mo? Magsa-story na about his or her family. Ang daling ma-distract. Para lang hindi kayo makapag-quiz. Alam ko yung galawan natin, no? Stimulus bounded. Yung mga teacher na hindi naman kasali sa lesson, pero kinukwento niya about the vacation, about sa family, about sa experiences, hindi related sa question. Nagiging stimulus bounded. Maladaling ma-interrupt, ma-distract ng stimuli. Ang thrust naman, ibig sabihin kasi ng thrust from letter T. Tulak. Again, thrust is tulak. Tinulak mo lahat ng activities all at once. Anong mangyayari sa mga bata? na sobrahan ng activity, pagod na pagod, hindi na gumagana yung utak. So, bawal din yung thrust, masyadong maraming activities. Kaya nga, usually, pag nagbibigay tayo ng activity, di ba? May activity na group, may activity na individual, may activity na si work lang, may activity na physical. Ganyan kaganda yung yung smoothness natin. Dapat walang thrust. Transference agad pag-relate. Yun, stimulus bounded. Dangle versus truncation. Dito tayo. Dangle versus truncation. Anong pinagkaiba nila? Pareho silang pinutol mo yung isang lesson. Pero si dangle, pinutol mo yung lesson, pero pwede pang balikan. Si truncation, di na pwedeng balikan. Gets? Gets? Ang dangle, hindi na pwedeng balikan. Pwede pang balikan, ang truncation, hindi na. Another trunkia. Huwag kayong maging marupok kasi, padangle-dangle kasi. Dangling and truncation. Sa truncation, meron tayong, isa din sa mga dinidiscuss ko, no? Pag truncation, tatlong syllable, abruptly yung keyword. Abruptly. Tatlong syllable. Sa ganyan siya. Truncation, abruptly. Basta may U silang dalawa. Si dangle, example nito kasi medyo nakakalito, ano? Puro lang sana all. Ang dangle, again, ito yung mga natapos or naputol mo pero pero pwede pang balikan. Example, nagkaklase ka ng math, tapos may nagpa-meeting. O, ikakat mo yung klase. Pwede mo pang balikan tomorrow. Dangle yan siya. Ang truncation, pinutol mo yung lesson. Tapos kinabukasan mo, next week mo pa sila babalikan. Ang nangyari, pagkadating ng next week, ibang quarter na pala. Hindi mo rin pwedeng balikan. Like second quarter na pala, tapos yung naputol is nasa first quarter pa. Truncation tawag dyan. Hindi na pwedeng balikan. Red flag. Nandiyan na naman tayo sa red flag. Tapos hindi naman ina-accept yung red flag. Just kidding. Next, number 119. The class has become uncontrollable. And so Teacher Yen decided to have some undisciplined students out of the room to the counselor's office. What did Teacher Yen apply by way of preventive approach? Pa-mute muna kami ng mga microphone. Anong tawag dyan? Bago pa lumala ang sugat, lagyan muna ng gamot na antiseptic. Okay? Para hindi magkalat or hindi mag-worsen yung situation. Antiseptic. Yeah. Ito naman yung tinatawag nating mga low-profile classroom management. Ano ibig sabihin nun? May mga low-profile classroom tayo. Pag sinabing low-profile classroom management, nagmamanage ka ng classroom habang nagle-lesson ka. Hindi mo hinihinto yung lesson mo. Pero nagka-classroom management ka pa rin. Para siyang overlapping ba. Antiseptic management kapag may maingay, palabasin mo or utusan mo. Like, ay, Gan, pwede ka mag-print muna doon sa office? Ay, Gan, pwede pabili muna ng ganito? Kapag ginanyan ka ng teacher mo, more probably maingay ka sa classroom. Or di kaya, favorite ka lang talaga. So, dalawang choices lang yan. Next is planned ignoring. Kapag may nagpapasikap na bata, huwag pansinin. Next is humor effect. Use of jokes. Humor effect. Hurdle helping naman, habang nagle-lesson ka tapos may nahihirapan, pwede kang bumalik sa lesson ay sa topic na nahihirapan siya. Hurdle helping tawag doon. But you are not stopping the lesson. Program restructuring naman, kapag alam mong masyadong mahirap or masyadong mahirap yung lesson, pwede kang mag-restructure right then and there. Pwede mong palitan yung lesson mo. Mag-restructure ka ng program. Next is name dropping, use of student's name. Hindi mo naman siya kinall out. Name drop lang. Example, maingay masyado si Sir Ali Carl. Ang sasabihin ko lang kasi maingay siya na nagdi-discuss ako ng math. Teacher Joshua bought 35 apples. And Ali Carl bought 29 apples. So kung maingay si Ali Carl tapos narinig niya yung name niya na dinrap natin, ginamit as examples, babalik yung attention niya sa akin. So, continuous pa din yung lesson ko. Next is proximity control. Kapag maingay ang bata, lalapitan. Walang inik-inik, lapitan mo lang. Pero kung yung bata, hindi madala sa proximity control, hindi madala sa lapit-lapit, anong ginagawa ni teacher? Touch. control. Habang nagle-lesson ka, gaganyan mo sa ulo na may dalang kurot, kaunti. O di ka, dito sa balikat. Yung mga ganon, tawag doon is touch control. Interest boosting naman is paggamit lang ng mga icebreaker, mga ganon. Huwag naman, huwag mo hapaka. Ayaw hapaka. Interest boosting, gumamit ka ng icebreaker, or di kaya gumamit ka ng mga zumba-zumba, or mga nursery rhymes sa mga BEd. Ganyan. And then the last one is signal interference. Pag si teacher, tumaas ang kamay, ganito na yung kamay ni teacher sa taas. Ano ibig sabihin nito? Kapag ang kamay ni teacher ganito, stop, keep quiet. Kumo. Ano na? Or di kaya yung kamay ni teacher nandito. Or di kaya yung mata ni teacher nang lilisik na sa'yo. Ibig sabihin yan, signal interference na yan. Hindi mo kailangang mangusap, hindi mo kailangang gumamit ng salita. Non-verbal lang. So habang nagle-lesson ka, pwedeng ganyan lang, then proceed ulit. Yeah. Parang library. Okay, that's low profile. Ano naman yung kabaliktaran ng low profile? High profile. Ang high profile naman, ito yung kailangan mo talagang mag-stop ng lesson kasi hindi na makaya ang bata. Dami na lang dyan. Stop the lesson right now. Si Kriza. Kriza, kanina ka pa. Ang ingay-ingay mo. Direct appeal na yan. Matatakot na yung bata. Nahinto na yung lesson mo. Kasi ang gagawin mo niyan, next is iMessages. Anong iMessages? Yung nagsisermon na tayo. Di ba alam mo, ayaw ko ng ganito, ayaw ko ng ganyan. Mga iMessages. Nagsasap ka na, nagsisermon ka na. And then the next one is detention. Ito naman, hindi siya ginagawa sa Philippines, ano? Pero sa Amerika, ginagawa to siya. Like, mag-extend ka ng oras sa school. Ma-detain ka talaga sa school. Ang parent conference naman, kapag masyado ng yung bata, hindi na makontrol, pwedeng ipatawag ang parents. Pero kung ayaw pa rin talagang makipag-cooperate ng parents, wala tayong magagawa, kundi ang suspension or expulsion. Expelled na yung bata sa school. Kaya siya tinatawag na high profile na. So, pwede yung pag-guidance. Yun, pwede yan sa high profile yan lahat. Okay na? Pwede na tayong mag-move on doon? Low profile and high profile? Okay na? Yun. Sige. Okay, kaya pa ba? Kaya pa ba?
Kayanin.
Kayanin, sir.
Ano? Kaya pa ba?
Kaya po.
Naman, kaya.
Kaya.
Kaya. Sige, muna tayo sa 120. Malapit na, 30 items na lang. Which of the following factors can effectively prevent unruly scenario? Unruly. Kapag unruly, ibig sabihin nun, anong kailangan mo? Kasi unruly. Wala siyang rules. Kaya bigyan mo ng rule. As easy as that. Unruly yung scenario. So bigyan mo ng rules. Ano naman pinagkaiba ng rules at saka routine? Si rule, hindi na mababalik. Si routines, pwede mo pang bali-balik na rin. Pwede pang ulitin throughout the school year. Pero si class rules, as much as possible, kung anong rules sa day 1, yun lahat ng rules sa last day of school. Huwag mo nang pagbalik-balik na rin or babalik. Ang routine naman, again, like paano magpasa ng papers, paano mag-exchange ng papers, anong gagawin? Pagpapasok ng classroom, meron ba kayong foot sock? Yung mga ganyan. Sino yung nasa maglinis? Those examples are examples of classroom routines. So, pwede po siyang magbago. Ang rules, again, it is fixed na talaga. Next. Number 1 to 1. In the 5S formula to create a conducive learning environment, which 5 stands to be less relevant and less effective? Ano yung unang tatanggalin mo? Sino ang hindi kasali sa 5S? Hindi kasali si sweep at saka si systematize. Wala sila dyan. Ang pinaka-less relevant dito is si shine. Kung i-compare mo siya sa sort, ang sort kasi is organizing. Ibig sabihin, parang ano mo lang, parang moving the objects, sorting. Now, in this case, ang mangyayari, move ka sa shine. Ang problema lang sa shine is thorough cleaning. Hindi naman kailangan na thorough talaga yung cleaning. The most important is organizing talaga. As long as na-organize mo na, okay na. You don't have to make it parang squeaky clean talaga. Shiny. Hindi siya masyadong importante. Na-recall na yung question yun. Sige. 5S yun siya. 5S. Okay. Question number 122. In what way does the cooperative learning through bonding and sharing be less relevant and less effective? Paano magiging less effective ang bonding? Kapag merong competition. Okay? Question number 1, 2, 3. At the beginning of the school year, what project can best determine a student's mastery of the previous year's subject matter prior to introducing new subject matter? Ano yung pwede mo nang tingnan to determine the student's mastery? Malaman mo ano yung mga development nila, ano yung progress nila from grade 1 bago mo i-start yung grade 2 nila. Pwede mong tingnan ang yon, letter D, 1 and 2. Journal nila, yung mga pinagsusulat nila. At saka yung portfolio that shows pictures or documentation sa mga activities na ginagawa. Ang mock-up at saka realia, gamitin mo yan siya during the school year na, hindi na sa beginning of the school year. Okay? IMs kasi tawag sa kanila. 1, 2, 4. Which one holds true of anecdotal records? Pag sinabing anecdotal records, anong hindi totoo? Anong totoo dyan? True pala, true. Anecdotal record. That is letter. Okay, first things first. Kapag anecdotal yan, do not ever combine facts with interpretation. Bawal mong interpret ang anecdotal record. Kung ano yung nangyari, yun mismo. Walang interpretation. Next, writing objective descriptive behavior with ease. Hindi madaling gumawa ng anecdotal. Kasi nga, descriptive. Masyadong ma-detalyado. COD. Letter C. Describing behavior in natural setting. Bakit mali si letter D? Kasi laboratory setting. Hindi naman siniset up yung mga gulo sa classroom. It is naturally occurring. Okay? Hindi siya experiment. Number 1, 2. Ay. What kind of reason is involved in invoking general feeling to concrete situation? General to concrete or specific? General to specific. That is from general to specific. General
Letter
to
D.
specific. Letter, yun.
Deduction.
Parang sweldo lang.
Deduction.
Deduction. Ang isang parang sweldo, dinideduct yung sweldo natin. Isang buong sweldo, tapos nagiging sinsilyo. Nagiging coins na lang. That is deduction. Isang buo or general to specific. Ang kabaliktaran niya naman is induction. Specific to general. Okay? Induction versus deduction. Next, number 126. Which learning principle is the essence of Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences? Anong sinabi ni Gardner? Theory of multiple intelligences. Sabi niya, letter B. Intelligence is not measured in one form. According to Gardner, ilang forms of intelligence meron tayo?
Multiple.
Ilang forms of intelligence?
9.
Multiple intelligence. Ilan yun? 9? Lower than 9? Oh, 8. Yun. Letter. 8 intelligences. Merong bago pero hindi kino-consider yun. Intelligence is not measured in one form. Maraming forms of intelligence. Okay, letter B. 1 to 7. Again, hindi siya one form, 8 forms. Number 1 to 7. The teacher aims to develop critical and creative thinking Kapag critical and creative, anong pwede mong gamitin sa mga bata? Critical and creative thinking yung gusto mong i-develop. She should try using
Divergent.
divergent question. Or in other words, anong ibig sabihin? Anong other word for divergent? Open,
Open-ended.
open,
Ay, open question.
ended. Yun.
Open-ended eh. Sige po.
Yun. Open-ended questions.
Sige.
Nanukulangan lang. Divergent. Anong kabaliktaran ng divergent?
Convergent.
Convergent. Open close daw. Grabe ka, Sir Leo. Convergent. Meaning, iisa lang yung sagot. And this is add one out pa din. Ang declarative, convergent, at saka expository, they are fact-based. Okay? Iisa lang yung tamang sagot nila. Number 1 to 8. It is an approach that makes students think about thinking. Ano yan? Think about thinking. Save, maximize test time. Letter?
Metacognitive.
Yun. Letter C. Metacognition. Think about thinking. Metabolism. Number 1 to 9. Ito. A teaching approach that views learning as an active process creates a meaningful connection between prior and present learning. Ano tawag dyan? Prior and present. Combine mo. Letter?
Constructivism.
Yun. Letter D. Constructivism or constructivist teaching. Ang nangyayari kasi pag inquiry, merong question, merong answer. Ang metacognitive, as we all know, thinking about thinking. Ang problem solving naman, merong problem, merong solution. As easy as that. Okay? Next number 1, 2, 130. Malapit na. 130. Teacher Betty avoid out of context drills. Instead, she makes use of real world problem. Gusto niyang ma-feel ng mga bata kung ano yung ginagawa nila. They can relate to it. Nagiging constructivist pa rin ang sagot. Constructivism. Ano nga mangyayari sa constructivism? Kung ano yung alam ng bata, gagamitin mo in giving the new lesson. Ibig sabihin, gagamitin mo yung real world experiences ng mga bata to connect it to your lesson. That's constructivism. Medyo mahirap lang sa i-analyze. Pero, yun, letter C, constructivism. Scammer din siya na question. Yun. Next naman is 131. Every professional in the Philippines must subscribe to lifelong learning, which is the most recent law that underscores the need for lifelong learning. Ano nga yun? Noong 2016, that is
10912.
CPD law or yun. Letter
B.
Letter B, 10912. Ang 7836, that is Philippine Teachers Professionalization Act. CPD law naman si RA, 10912. Si 4670 Magna Carta, of course, si 10533 K to 12. Okay? Next. Saan Republic Act naman napapabilong yung Code of Ethics? Sino nagsabi na kailangan nating magkaroon ng Code of Ethics? Nalilito na. Sino nagsabi na kailangan natin ng Code of Ethics? RA 7836. 7836. Sino naman nagsabi na kailangan natin mag-take ng LEP?
7836.
7836 pa rin. Sino nagsabi na kailangan natin ng lisensya?
7836.
7836 pa rin. That's why I'm telling you, napaka-importante ni 7836. Lisensya, licensure exam, Code of Ethics. Nandyan lahat. Okay? Punta tayo sa question number. RA po. Sige lang, kaya. Number 132. When a teacher emphasizes that man's sense, ano nga yan? Man's senses should be trusted because they are the only way to acquire knowledge. That is
Empiricist.
good. Empiricist. Pero kung wala si empiricist sa sagot, anong pwedeng isagot? Pwede si Yun, si B, si realist. Pwede mo siyang isagot kung wala si empiricist. Kasi nga, anak na realist si empiricist. Yun. Pero keywords man tayo, the best answer is empiricist. Involving senses. Yun. Ito yung kanina. 133. Skinner is known for his theory based upon the notion that learning is a result of change in overt behavior, meaning an individual responds to events that occur in the environment. This theory came to be known as, actually, isa lang yung keyword, Skinner. Si Skinner, kilala bilang father of operant conditioning. Ano naman yung operant conditioning? Ito yung, ay, sorry. Pag may NT-NT gani, ito, balik natin. Pag may NT-NT, yan yung reinforcement, punishment. Basta may NT-NT yan siya. Operant, reinforcement, punishment. Ang classical conditioning naman, galing yan kay Ivan Pavlov. Anong hayop yung ginamit ni Ivan Pavlov sa experiment niya?
Dog.
Dog. Yung nagsasalivate yung aso at saka may bell. Ang operant conditioning naman, ang ginamit na hayop ay
Rat.
yung ginamit ni Skinner. Rat. Yung kinokuryente yung rat. Yun. So, unlocking of ano lang tayo, of prior knowledge. And itong connectionism naman is galing kay Edward Lee Thorndike. If you can still remember the laws of learning. Merong tatlong major law of learning. Exercise.
Law of readiness.
Exercise. Readiness.
Effect.
Effects. Ere. Pakilagay na lang po. Hindi ko kasi nadagdag. Edward Lee Thorndike. Ere. Laws of learning. Mga law. Law of effect. Readiness. Exercise. Yun yung connectionism. Question number 134. Kaya ba ba? Pavlov. Yun.
Kaya
Pavlovian. Pavlovian condition. Kaya ba? Asa na kayo?
Yes.
Wala.
Malapit na sa katotohanan, sir.
Labit na. The leading proponent of social learning theory is Bandura. He believed that, anong pinaniniwalaan ni Albert Bandura? There is,
Modeling.
yun, ang word na modeling yung hinahanap natin. Social learning theory. People, again, children are molded by their environment. That is social learning theory. Ito namang letter B, discuss ko lang saglit. Latent learning. Ano ibig sabihin ng latent learning? According to Edward Tolman, magagamit or lalabas lang yung learning mo kapag gagamitin mo na. So ngayon, latent pa siya. Katulad ngayon, di ba, parang overloaded na kayo. Pero pagdating sa exam, dyan lalabas lahat ng natutunan. Latent learning. Lalabas lang kung gagamitin na. Next. The use of drills in the classroom is rooted on Thorndike's law of drill. Paulit-ulit. That is?
Exercise.
Law of. Yun. Law of. Sir, lalabas talaga. Law of exercise. Pero pag sinabi ko namang reward, motivation, law of rewards, punishment, candy, star. Yan yung tinatawag nating law of effects. Pag maganda ang effect, may reward siya na-receive, gagawin niya ulit yun. Pero pag punishment yung effect, patay. Ayaw nang gumawa ng bata. Ang readiness naman, this is the reason behind motivation activities. Kailangan kasi ng mga bata maging ready for the next lesson. Okay? Sige, that's readiness effect. Ere lang tayo. Ere. Next question, 130. Ito pala. Reward, punishment, motivational activity. Now for question number 136. For bodily kinesthetic learners, which activity would appeal and could be appreciated when assigned to them? Ito, palaging umuulit din ito. Bodily kinesthetic. Itong word na to ay very weird kasi hindi familiar sa atin. Kaya ang sagot palaging mareremember natin. Letter D. Calisthenics. Ito yung parang yoga. Tama ba? Yoga. Use of your whole body. Yan yung para sa mga bodily kinesthetic. Letter D. Ang illustration naman, anong type of learner ang magkakaroon ng benepisyo kapag illustration yung mga ginagamit mo? Mga drawing, mga pictures, para sa mga visual spatial learner. Display, magpapakita ka ng display ng mga video, ng mga models. Visual pa din. Lecture, para kanino nga tong lecture? Lectures?
Auditory.
Audio or auditory learners. Okay, 136. Yan. Punta tayo sa 137. In what condition can a teacher be required to transfer from one station to another? Pag sinabing required, wala kang no choice. Wala kang choice kundi to transfer talaga. Bakit? What will be the reason when for you to be required to transfer?
Spouse.
Letter?
B.
Bakit kailangan mo? Bakit wala kang choice? Wala kang choice na mag-transfer because of letter A. Look for the word emergency or exigency. Okay? Again, look for the word emergency or exigency. Walang kang choice kung ililipat ka ng isang room, ng isang school. Kasi baka sa kabilang school may emergency. They need teachers right now. So, pwede kang i-require na lumipat. Of course, with your consent. Dapat alam mo. May alam mo o may approval mo na ililipat ka. Pero more probably, makakalipat ka talaga. Lalo kapag baguhan ka pa. Now, letter B, question. Sa Magna Carta natin, if the spouse of the teacher is in the same school, or I mean in another school, pwede ka pang lumipat. Kung yung asawa mo nasa kabilang school, pwede ka pang lumipat doon?
Yes.
Yes na yes. Pwede. As long as may item, pwede kang lumipat, you can request that one and that can be arranged. Okay? Pero kung magkaaway naman kayo ng asawa mo, wag na lang. Spouse talaga yung dependent. Okay. Keywords. The keywords. Number 138. What dependent variable is acts? For the hypothesis, the more the teacher knows the subject, the better she can teach. Anong babantayan mo to prove your hypothesis? Anong titingnan mo to prove your hypothesis? Yun. Tingnan mo yung kanyang rating. Performance. Kung nag-improve ba or nag-decline. So you can confirm or deny your hypothesis. Kasi we're talking about performance ng teacher. Okay? Question number 139. This is not among the official big ideas of preschool education. Saan dyan yung hindi pang preschool? A, B, C, or D?
Toddling to walk.
Letter?
B.
Hindi pang preschool. Letter?
B.
A. Toddling to walk. Hindi siya pang preschool. From the word toddle. Hindi siya pang preschool, kundi pang toddlers. 1 to 2 years old yan sila. Ang preschool kasi mga 3 to 6 or 3 to 5 years old. Okay? Toddling to walk. Ang mga preschool, marunong na maglakad yan. Okay? Number 140. Who asserted that children must be given the opportunity to explore and work on different materials so that they will develop sense of initiative instead of guilt. Kanino nga yan? Initiative versus guilt. Letter. Erikson, psycho-social development. Ano naman yung theory ni Kohlberg?
Moral reasoning.
Lawrence Kohlberg, moral development theory. Maslow, ito si Maslow.
Hierarchy of needs.
Physiological.
Hierarchy of needs. Anong pinakamataas
Needs,
daw kay Maslow? Anong pinakamataas na needs?
Self-actualization.
Self-actualization. Anong pinaka-basic needs?
Physiological.
Anong pinakababa?
Physiological.
Love. Physiological needs like foods and clothes. Si Gardner naman, ano kay Gardner?
Multiple.
Letter? Yun. MIT or Multiple Intelligences Theory. Yun. Magaling. Magpapapin ko, ready na kayo ba after this? Message natin ng PRC. Earlier dapat tiniglan. Number 141. What explains the tendency of preschool children to focus on an aspect of an object while excluding other aspects? What do you call that one? Iisa lang. Sentro. Yun. Nakasentro lang sila sa iisang aspect. That's what we call centration. Focused. Yun. Focused lang sila. Nakasentro. Now, ano naman yung iba? Pag sinabi natin egocentration, ito yung mga bata na kung iiyak talaga sila. Kasi nga, they don't care about other people. They don't care about their parents. Kung iiyak sila ng madaling araw, iiyak yan sila. Wala silang pakialam. Egocentric yung mga bata. Okay? Next question. 142. Which statement is not true of Ched? Ito, alam na natin si Ched. Asan daw yung not true about Ched?
Letter A.
Letter A.
Letter A. It is in charge of education program in all levels. Mali yun kasi ang kay Ched, anong level ang kay Ched?
Higher levels. lang.
Higher education.
Higher learning or college level lang.
College,
Sino naman sa
university.
basic education, elementary, high school?
DepEd.
DepEd.
DepEd na yun siya. Yun, tertiary lang. Tertiary learning lang or college level. Si Ched, hindi lahat. Okay? Pwede pa ito siya kay Dex. Itong in charge of education program in all levels, kay Dex ito siya. Yung Department of Education, Culture, and Sports, yung dating DepEd. Siya lahat. 143. What field of education manages children with behavioral problems? Sino lang dapat ang pwedeng maging teachers ng mga bata na may behavioral problem? Masyadong may mga actions na irrelevant, mapanakit yung mga bata and whatsoever. Para lang yan siya sa mga specialized special education teachers. Okay? Sa mga SPED teachers yan sila. Behavioral problems. Yun, mga differently abled learners. Number 144, under which pillar of education is responsible for competence and skill? Skill.
Learning.
Letter A, learning to do. Pag sinabi ko namang emotion, affective,
Learning to be.
learning to be. Pag sinabi ko namang cognitive,
Learning to know.
learning to know. Pag sinabi ko namang learning to live together na yan. Letter C. Number 145. Now let's have question 145. Bawal. By Ma'am Jun Yu. Learning to love. Walang learning to love. Which organization advanced insights of learning to treasure within 21st century education? Ganito lang. Kapag nakita ang word na 21st century education in this question, ang sagot mo din is yun, 21st century din. That is letter C. Walang pahirapan yung buhay mo. Learning to treasure within is from IC for the 21st century. Letter C. Kapit na, 146. Peter kisses the hand of his mother before leaving and upon arrival from a long trip. Then, his younger son learned to do the same. Kinopya niya yung tatay niya. Anong tawag ng cultural transmission niya? Kinokopya mo yung ginagawa ng mga pariente mo, ng mga relatives mo. That's what we call, if you're learning in your own culture, that is inculturation.
Yeah.
Again, if you are learning in your own culture, inculturation tawag dyan. Ito yung tinatawag nating cultural transmission. Sa cultural transmission, merong apat. Again, unang-una, if you're learning your own culture or in your own culture, enculturation tawag dyan. Now, if I try to learn some Blaan words or if I try to learn some Maguindanon words, pero hindi ako naging Blaan or hindi ako naging Islam, ang tawag lang dyan is acculturation. nag-acquire lang ako ba ng ibang culture like language. Parang pinag-aralan ko lang. Pero hindi ako nagbalik Islam or nag-convert. That is acculturation. Pero if I already converted, ang tawag dyan is assimilation. Parang nag-assimilate ba? Combine. Nag-combine na ako sa kanila. Now, what is amalgamation? Kapag ganito, example niyan is for instance, yung mama mo, Blaan, yung papa mo, Bisaya, magkakaroon ng new culture yung bata. Merong culture about Blaan, meron siyang culture about Bisaya, na hinalo-halo niya. May creation of new culture. Ang tawag dyan, amalgamation. Okay? Anong tawag nga? Amalgamate. Ano ang ibig sabihin na? Anong tawag if you learn in your own culture? In your own culture? Inculturation. If you try to convert and change your culture,
Assimilation.
Convert. Yun. If you try to create new culture, that is
Amalgamation.
Amalgamation.
if you acculturation is learning or acquiring something from other culture. Number 2. Okay, question 1 for 7. Kaunti na lang. A group of people asserts that their culture is superior to others. Masyado kang ma-pride na yung kultura mo mas magaling sa iba. Pinoy pride. Ayan is. Letter, anong tawag dyan?
Ethnocentrism.
Ethnocentrism. Okay?
Sir, ano kaibahan
Ethnocentric.
ng ethno at saka xenocentrism?
Ang sinocentrism, takot ka sa, takot. Ang sinocentric, mas magaling, parang mentality ba, colonial, mas magaling yung ibang lahi. Hindi lang culture ha, yung ibang lahi talaga, like alien na mga tao. Alien from abroad pala. Sinocentrism. Meron tayong tinatawag na xenophobia. Pag xenophobic ka, takot ka sa mga foreigners. Ayun. Ito pala kay Miss Friza. Ang anong sino?
I'm sorry, sir. Yeah, so yung nangyayari ngayon, sir, currently, like, for example, may mga like Black Lives Matter or yung sa mga Asian na being discriminated. So yun siya, yung sinocentrism.
Yun. Ang nangyayari sa Black Lives Matter, there are two parties kasi. Meron nagsasabi na it is very ethnocentric. Meron din nagsasabi na it is just a simple sinocentrism. Ito pala yung definition ng sinocentrism. Inferiority ng takot ka sa sarili mong kultura. Now in that case, yun na nga, there are two different perspectives. Lalo sa Amerika, very, parang sila, divided in may bigotry na nangyayari. They really have to choose between two lang talaga. Yan yung hinahanap nila. Either it becomes ethnocentric, or it becomes xenocentric, or it becomes just a plain social justice lang. Wag lang talagang madiin yung topic natin. 147. Sige. Number 147 is ethnocentrism. 148. Someone said, experience without theory is blind. But theory without experience is mere intellectual play. Utak-utak lang yan. Wala pa nga. What does this mean? It means that theory and experience must go hand in hand. Hindi pwedeng experience lang, hindi ka nag-iisip. Hindi pwedeng puro ka lang din isip, walang experience. They must go hand in hand. Okay? Next question. 149. Malapit na. What is the degree of moral certitude of Alegre who entered into a marriage only out of obedience sa kanyang parents? But he is uncertain kung tama or mali. Anong tawag dyan? Ito yung mga different types of conscience. Another word for uncertain, you are unsure or doubtful. May iba't iba tayong uri ng conscience. Merong conscience na tinatawag na lax conscience. Ang lax conscience, merong mali, pero hindi mo nakikita na may mali. Yung iba nakikita nila, pero ikaw, sure mo, mali ito. Hindi mo nalalaman na may mali pala. Hindi mo na-recognize yung wrong. That's lax. Ang probable naman, merong, ito yung uri ng conscience wherein you are presented with buta-buta, parang ganon. Ang probable naman is, it is when you choose between two eligible choices. Ibig sabihin, merong choices na binigay sa'yo. Ang ginawa ni probable, may pinili siya doon sa choices. Ang pinagkaiba ni uncertain at saka or doubtful kay probable, si uncertain, meron kang choices. Pero ang pinili lang konsensya mo is huwag pumili. Kaya nga hanggang uncertainty ka lang. Palagi ka lang nag-iisip kung tama or mali. But you did not choose and you cannot choose between two ideas. Doubtful ka pa. Again, ang probable, may pinili ka talaga. Ang doubtful, yung bahala ng iba pumili para sa akin. Parang ganun yung doubtful. Okay? And last. Politically motivated. Last one, number 50, Teacher Nancy is directed to pass an undeserving student with a death threat. Which advice will a utilitarian give?
Letter B.
Yun,
B.
kapag utilitarian, again, ano nga ang other keyword sa utilitarian?
Goodness of
Use.
all.
Letter, goodness of all. Use. Lahat kayo makaka-benepisyo. Ikaw, ang parent, ang teacher, lahat may benepisyo. Pag sinabi naman nating C, yan yung kung sagot o ang tanong is para sa mga hedonist. Okay, what will a hedonist give? Ang sagot is letter C. Pero yung tanong is utilitarian, so maghanap ka ng word na use. And that ends our professional education. Okay na ba? May mga tanong pa ba?
Sir, kung Anna goes to church to confess, pharisaical,
Ano po
yun
yun?
or
Ano po yun? Ano pa yun?
yung Anna goes to church to